Hello. This is my every 2 week vlog about the stuff that I read. And this time I have with me Evil Mike from Evil's Comics because me and him like hanging out and we like having banter. And he reviews everything. So for me to do a review slash vlog show, who else should I have here with me? And I didn't. Okay, I'll start you off with one that I seen you had a review for, and I did not watch it. So you can tell me now what you think about it.
Okay.
This is the worst thing I read that came out this 2 weeks. This chicken
I'm
devil.
at a I'm at a half with it. I did not like it, but we were just talking about books that you give a second read to see if it changes your opinion. But I read it again for the review, and I'm like at a half. I want to see where it's going because I haven't. I mean, it could be good, right? It's the first issue. It's a build up. But at the same time, man, I did not like the paneling. I did not like the kind of art style in the beginning. It's like those first 5 pages, man. If you look at that, it's so crazy. It was so weird. I couldn't even figure out who the mom and the daughter was. Like it was. I mean, there's a mom and daughter and a son, and it took me like half the book to figure out. Oh, that's his wife, and that's not his daughter. Okay, I got you. I mean, and that should be something that's easily
I'll
explained.
tell you, by the time that big thing that happens in this book happened, I was kind of like, like, why is this guy not happy? Like, it seems like like he was a nobody to them anyway. Like they didn't, everything he did was wrong. It's all dad's fault.
He was like slipping and slopping all over the place. It was all by
Yeah,
accident.
I
None of
was
it
like,
was on purpose. No, that's kind of okay. Like one of my two beefs with it is it's written by someone that evidently does not know what he's talking about because in the beginning of the book, the kind of basis of the book is like, the mob has hidden their drugs in the guy's fried chicken restaurant, right? But
yeah,
where they tried to hide the heroin was in the actual batter of the chicken mix. Okay, if you know drugs and heroin, it blows up, it burns. Like I mean, it's not something. I mean, most drugs that are the heavy drugs, they all explode. Like
yeah,
how many times you hear of meth labs blowing up and no, I mean, so it's kind of like, dude, where's my car? That could have been a great movie, but I
yeah,
believe it was written
kind of
by
like
people that weren't really
Dude,
stoners or
and like they spliced that and like Breaking Bad because I mean they even mentioned Breaking Bad
yeah, they
and
do.
but I think that's kind of what got me as I went into it being like, oh, this would be like Breaking Bad, and then they even reference this in the book, and it's so much like Breaking Bad that I'm just like, I already know how
Turned off by it.
like yeah, like I already know how this goes. He's either gonna survive or he's not. So he's obviously gonna survive for at least a little while. I don't know if this is
My
like a swing or a mini, but
From the synopsis of the book or what it was supposed to be about, I was kind of really for it because what I thought it was going to be about was like that guy was going to be like a superhero and that was his weird ass costume that he was running around in. But I thought it was going to be like kind of like a new Deadpool or a new like ambush bug or something like that. Like that I would have liked, but I mean, that's not really his, like, I mean, you see it at the end. He just puts on the chicken suit to avoid the cameras. And, um, even the way that he gets out of that last scenario, it's all by accident. None of
to
it's
be
on
honest,
purpose.
yeah, the chicken head suit thing was the most thing I liked about the book the most was the fact of the comedy of the fact where he was like, how am I going to get in without being seen? And he puts on this chicken thing and then he goes in front of the camera. And I was like, hey, you would see something like that in like a Seth Rogen movie or something like that. And B, I was like, honestly, the funny thing is, and the way things are nowadays, how
Yeah.
that might actually work. Like
Yeah.
people don't
Like,
pay attention. Like even people who are like security guards, they're like reading their phone, like doing something besides what they're supposed to be doing. It might actually
yeah,
work. It's like, oh, somebody walked in. What did he look like? A chicken. Like,
they show that guy, and there's a security guy at the desk of the office and he doesn't even notice that he walks in with the chicken head. And then the guy that walks in right behind him with the gun in his hand, he doesn't see that either.
I love that. I think the chicken head was probably like I laughed out loud. I was like, that's hilarious. I was like, it gave me a little. There was the saving grace of this book. The
Actually,
art,
my favorite
art I
part
didn't
was
like. Oh God.
my favorite part was the conversation with his mom in jail. Like, and how he was like trying to ask her how to go around some illegal stuff, but then he kept incriminating her in the same time, and she's like, "No, bro, they got cameras in here. Stop that!" Like,
Yeah, like,
I did not kill him. And I kind of like that part. I was like,
that is kind of
but
funny.
to
I mean, the
me,
book
that was the
was great, but I think the stuff that they tried to make serious was, I don't know if that's it. If they were like being like, "Hey, this stuff that's serious, we're trying to make jokes out of it," or if they just ended up doing that by accident.
okay. Well, I mean, well, the book's been out for like 2 weeks now, so spoilers. But I mean, like the whole family dying thing, and yeah, I mean that like the way it happens, it's all like super fast, and then there is some scenes where he mourns and cries and everything, but like I mean to me it's like one of those convenient, written plot points.
Yeah,
Well, why does that have to happen after this and this and this? Like, I mean, you could have gave us a little more time. Like, that's kind of my problem with it. Like, I kind of touched on it in the review, but in the beginning, my big problem is the paneling. They have panels within panels within panels, which is really irritating. Like, give me the two, with I
yeah,
can get one panel within a panel, but I mean, there's one scene where it's literally like six panels within one panel. It's like, come on, bro. Like, mm, I am going to pick up issue two because I could see it getting better. And, we do base stuff on a first issue. And but I don't know. I haven't had a lot of stuff. If I didn't like it by the first issue, like there is a couple books that, I mean, they didn't get better. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Well, if everybody starts saying that two was incredible, even though they didn't like the first one, I might go pick up the second one and get right back on it.
So
But
I'm gonna read it, so I'll let you know.
you
No, I'm
got
playing.
you definitely gonna let me know.
I'm still reading stuff. I mean, I state that I've read almost everything. Like last week, I read almost everything.
Yeah.
I think there was only a couple. Well, I mean, there's a lot of Marvel
See,
that I'm
that
not
is an
interested in.
advantage. That is an advantage to digital, is that you get that kind
Mhm.
of, you get more bang for your buck that way. Next is Thor, Donny Cates, Thor 17, Donny Cates and Michelle Bandini.
Mhm.
I do not like his artwork at all. I just can't. It's ruining it for me. And
Inside,
I'm huh?
inside the book.
Yeah. Like, and I think, is this his color or is this Oliver's? This is Oliver Copiel that does this cover. Yeah. Yeah. The art on the inside is nothing like this. This is incredible. I love Oliver
Yeah,
Copiel's run on Thor, but it just seems like we're still in this whole. I don't know. It's kind of weird because like this whole book was like basically like it was him and Odin and Freya and Angela all in the same thing. And Angela just keeps trying to make these big points that like she's technically the oldest, and so technically the job he has is the job she should have, but she's just letting him have it because she's got more important things to worry about, being, in heaven and being an angel and all this stuff. And it even says in the book, it kind of redeems it where Thor is like, "Are you saying that basically, what are you trying to say?" And she says, "If I want this, I'll just take it back." And he's like, "I'd like to see you try." And I was just like, "Yeah, you're kind of, because that's what Thor would do." But at the same time, I don't really see Angela being like, I don't know, being like, "Oh, this. By the way, this is mine, and I should have it, but I'm just letting you." If she, I don't know. It's just weird. He did have a
see,
nice heart, but
I
this.
don't know anything about because I haven't read any Thor since they've
Oh,
added Angela. Now I do know the whole like,
it
that she
seems
came from
like
Spawn and
everything
Neil Gaiman.
all the Thor I've been reading, even this Jason Aaron run that's like really old, this came out years ago. It's
Hmm.
all just
Now
basically,
that one I did read, like
yeah.
from
And it was like the
Thor the
first one where it
Butcher.
was like, is Thor worthy? Well, this is how he
Hmm.
became worthy and stuff like that. But they're still doing that. Like this is coming out now, and this is still doing the whole. Instead of being worthy, he can lift the hammer, but also can everybody else, and it picks and chooses when it lets him pick it up, or when it'll work right, or when it'll do something on its own. And I get that, but it's still just kind of this whole like,
No, that's dumb.
just
That's
take the hammer.
dumb. Like
Take the hammer.
why would you have a moniker on the hammer that states like whoever shall be worthy shall lift the hammer, and then all of a sudden the hammer is deciding that? What
Apparently,
kind of crap is that?
apparently they're saying now that the enchantment is broken because Thor is a
Mm.
king. He is not a
Okay,
warrior.
no, I could go
So
with that.
therefore, him having the hammer makes no sense. So the hammer is trying to tell him, hey, you need to pass me off to somebody who's going to use me because I'm just sitting here next to a king when I'm a weapon. I'm supposed to be used. And I was just like,
So,
dude, it's not sentient, okay? It's magic.
did you read Beta?
Like,
Did you read Beta Ray Bill?
yeah.
Okay, like, why not give it to him? He even asked Thor. Like, if that's a kind of,
That's
case
what I think.
scenario.
If you give that thing to Beta Ray Bill, nobody who reads Thor will probably be mad. Everybody will be like, yes, I'll read this. Thor takes Odin's spot. He does all the dictating. Beta Ray Bill is Thor. He hits things.
Yeah, why wouldn't they have done that? Like, that would have been badass. And they even stated in the beginning of that book. So I see. I didn't even know that was an issue in Thor where they were dealing with.
It seems like since 2012, they've been doing this whole "he's not worthy" thing. If he's not worthy, just take it from him. But it's a magic hammer, not a sentient hammer. It's not in a mood. It's it's an enchantment. Like if he's worthy, he can pick it up. If everybody can pick it up, then everybody. Loki. The funny part is when Loki picks it up because Loki picks it up literally like it's nothing. Like it's like he's picking up a spatula, and he's just like here, and he hands it to Thor, and Thor's just like, I hate you. I hate you so. It's honestly very Loki like. He's doing something out of spite to piss off Thor that he knows.
See, I like that.
But it's not something that he should to hit him for or get in a fight about. It's just something little and smirky, and he's just always doing that to his brother.
Hey, let's acknowledge the chat real quick, right? Because I've seen some mighty fine people. And we got Southern Comic Geek, we got Comic Journey, we got Mr. Sid Lordley, we got Brandon Looney Tunes 2000, we got Steve and Spock, we got Travis, we got TM Nerdy in the house.
Aggressively relaxing. Oh yeah.
Yep, aggressive.
See, this is why I kind of wanted to wait till about 5 or 6 o'clock. Everybody's getting off work. Everybody's just chilling. Everybody's not doing supper right now. Get some people in here. Get some people. Let's see. What does Comic Journey say? They should give Garth the hammer. He's not worthy.
What the hell is Garth? Garth from Wayne's World? He would be able to pick up that damn hammer. And Brandon Looney Tunes, I told you.
You know what? Garth
my favorite Looney Tunes is Taz.
Like
Taz.
I mean, who's more pure of heart than Garth? Like
both of them, Wayne and Garth, because they were like kind of semi.
Just tossing it back and forth from each other, just like, whoa, we're doing it, we're picking it up. Great. Oh, they should do that.
Bro, I love Wayne's World, man. I grew up watching it on TV. I saw both movies in the theaters. Like, bro, I like Michael Myers and Dana.
And dude, oh my god. This is Spider-Man 75. This is the.
I read that one. That was okay.
I like this variant. This reminds me of like Straczynski. This is like reminds me of when this really reminds me of John Romita Jr. This looks like one of those covers.
That's what I was about to say, Romita Jr.
But it's not John Romita Jr. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, I gotta get this. And I got the Gleason. I showed the Gleason yesterday on Mr. Journey's channel. Good day, Sergeant Slaughter, Slaughterhouse. That channel has me confused. I'm starting to think it's really Sergeant Slaughter because he's showing a lot of clips of Sergeant Slaughter that I don't think he could show without Sergeant Slaughter being like, hey, stop using my stuff. I'm starting to think it's the real Sergeant Slaughter, which is that's
dope if he was really the real Sergeant Slaughter. I love that. And then he was in cartoon form too. Like, bro, like how cool was that? Like, we only had a couple people that did that, where they were like in, from the 80s and 90s that were in cartoons, but real people too. Like Bo Jackson was one of them. Wayne Gretzky.
Nobody remembers. For one season, it was an MC Hammer cartoon.
Oh yeah, I remember MC. I've watched him too.
Magic shoes and dancing to beat bad guys. It is the greatest thing.
No, that was cool, man. Sergeant Slaughter. What's happening? No, Sergeant Slaughter was cool.
I just don't like, and that trade dress is so 90s stupid. I don't like the trade dress either. This is not. No.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I read it. I still don't like Ben Reilly. I mean, I
know.
get it.
So what'd you think?
Ben Reilly, it's just I don't care. Like
you didn't like him showing up in there.
Ben Reilly fans buy Ben Reilly's book. Give me my Peter book. We'll have a Peter book, a Ben Reilly book, and a Miles book, and everybody will be happy. You can cross by all you want. I just
I
don't
like
care.
that he showed up. I didn't think it was that bad, and I
I
don't
thought
want.
it was
I
actually
don't
pretty
think
cool.
they're
I
gonna.
mean, in the book, I just don't care. Like, I'm just petty that way.
I was
Love
big
me
into
some
Big
rock and
Riley
wrestling.
when he was back then. One of my favorite covers I have right now, it is a Ben Riley Spider-Man cover, and it's one of my favorite Spider-Man
Which
covers.
one? Which one
I'd
is
have
it?
to go grab it, but
Oh,
because I don't have a lot of Spider-Man.
all right. I'll keep going.
Keep
74,
going.
the $10 book.
I didn't read that one because of that.
Holy crap! I mean, it's heavy, but it's still $10. Well, I mean,
Yeah, I bet it is.
cover's pretty cool though. I like it. To me, it looks like Patrick Gleason's trying to do his best J. Scott Campbell impersonation, and I really like it. I dig it. I think it's cool. If he starts doing all the art on this book, it might save it for me. Bagley's in here though. It was good. There's a whole bunch of people working on it, but I just don't. It was $10, and I mean, I can't remember not one story in here. I can't tell you any of them to save my life.
He was all like, Ben Riley's like imitation crab, bro. I love imitation crab, just like real crab. So what you trying to say?
Hey, I like the imitation crab meat. I'm just saying, I just don't care. Like, I remember even before I read comics and I was watching the Spider-Man cartoon, and like I wasn't subscribed to the comics, so I didn't know what was going on in the comics. And they did the cartoon show on Saturdays or whatever, Saturday
hmm
morning cartoons. When
hmm
the only like the storyline I hated the least was when they did the Ben Riley Clone Saga on that show, and I was just like, I don't care. Give me Venom or give me a villain. I don't care about the clone thing. Like it just didn't sit well with me. Oh yeah.
And what's dope about this cover, what I love about it, it's one of those like tri covers. Watch, I'll show you.
Oh, it folds out.
Yeah. It's like that, and then it's like that,
Oh,
with the
that is.
jail cell, and then it's like there he is. Boom. Look, just like Tylox with that mane. Look at that. How do you not? That's why you don't like him. That's why
Yeah,
because
right.
he's killing your hairdo better than you are.
He really is. He's killing my hair. And the worst part is, I
I
had this
feel you.
haircut too when I was a kid. So when all this was happening in the comics, I had this haircut. So everybody thought I probably loved it.
I get jealous too, when I see them bald guys and they got that shininess going on because I don't have that yet. And I get jealous too. It happens.
That's true. I mean, if they bring Peter back, I'll probably because I mean I might even keep getting it. There's a few more covers I want to get. It might be resolved by then. So I'm gonna stay on it for a little bit, but I just don't know. I just don't care. It's Ben Riley. Like I think it's
What
cool.
kills?
They're doing a Ben Riley. Like it's he's getting his own book here in the next couple months or something like that. Ben Riley
We're
Spider Man.
getting five Spider-Man books because we're getting nonstop Spider-Man. We're getting main ASM Spider-Man. We're getting Ben Riley. We're getting a Venom, and then we're getting like I don't know what they're doing with Carnage, but it's supposed to be another symbiote book. But the thing that's killing me with Spider-Man, and it sucks for y'all as fans, like diehard fans, like Dave and LCS and um y'all getting like 3 books a month, like
Yeah,
and
like
one of
this
those is going to
start
be
getting
like a big issue every month.
and
Yeah, it's like that one.
I checked my LCS. Some issues are $4.99 and some issues are $3.99, and it's just
hmm
gonna flop back and forth which one. Like one a month is gonna be $4.99, and then the other two are gonna be $3.99. I was like, dude,
And it does it rotates, and then every 2 months y'all will get like a giant size or something like
I'm
that, where
all
it's going to be a $9 book.
It's like what $20 worth of Spider-Man books a month for one title?
Look,
No.
Spawn's kind of doing the same thing. I'm not saying they're overloading it, but Spawn, you got main Spawn, you got King Spawn, and like they did that at the beginning with the big, where the first book was like a $10 book. Like, bro, you couldn't have gave us a first book that was 3.99,
And it's still
huh?
just big. It was $5.99, and it was just as big as this one. And then the
Yeah.
next issue went back to being $2.99. Like all of them went to be. So I kind of that's what I hope you got.
Spider-Man,
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man.
I got one, and I was like so shocked when I got it. I was like, man, I can't believe I got this one. This is like it's just that cover, that painted looking cover, and the black suit. Black suit's still my favorite. I love it.
Mine too.
I love it. Red Sonja by your favorite Merca and Dolpha.
Hey, I just did a review for that right now. As you hit me up to do this, I have it uploaded. I haven't done it.
You haven't uploaded it yet? Well,
No.
you can preview if you want. I think it's
Oh, I
all right.
read it.
I kind of think
I
it was
read it and reviewed it.
okay. I think she got a little aggressive with dude. I don't think I can't
And that
remember.
part was a little weird because she wakes up and she's like, "You took off my clothes," and I'm sitting there thinking, like, if you can see her right there, she doesn't wear too many clothes. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I
like,
was like, yeah, you're not wearing a whole lot in the first place. And B, if you're bleeding from somewhere and your clothes are in the way, I'm gonna have to get rid of your clothes to stop it from bleeding, to stitch it up at least. I mean, maybe not
well,
stop.
the way the book worked, like what she remembers is the last time she woke up and trying to get to that girl Sitha. And then
Yeah,
he tells her that it's been like 9 days, so she doesn't know where she is. And then it's
that's
a
true.
man.
That's true.
Um,
And then there's the whole weird thing with the child trying to be like making her mommy, settle down mommy. Yes, that's the one I got too, sir. I got
mm,
that. Oh wait, is that number two?
yeah.
Oh, okay, that's right. Because she's the same one who did number one. I got the cosplay cover for number one. This one is the oh my god, I can't say this person's name. It's the FOC cover. It's something French. Foray Foray
Hold on.
Lash
Hold on. Hold on.
It's somewhere I think in the back of the book.
Luxurious Lay.
Yeah, like I dug it. As soon as I seen
It's
that, I was like, oh,
Leirixli.
I mean, I don't always have
Elerix.
in that you know, in that last live thing we were watching. You remember they were talking about gimmick covers
What?
variants. Well, there's like 20 variants for every Red Sonja
Oh,
issue.
there's always
Like
every Dynamite book. And then you want to know what's crazy? Like if you flip through the book for most people that don't read Dynamite, because Dynamite is brand new for me. Because this is like really my third Dynamite book. But they not only do they advertise that more books are coming out, but they even show you what covers you can get.
yeah, oh
Which
yeah.
I think is pretty dope.
The Sheena one, I'm getting a Lisner cover. The Michael Lisner cover.
Mm.
That's the one I'm getting. So yeah, look over at it.
I
That
actually
is,
like the Rose Bash. The Rose Bash.
there was a whole bunch of good ones that's going to be coming out for that. But
Which one did you like?
the Linsner, the Michael Linsner cover, it's like the C cover or D cover or
Oh
something.
yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that one.
yeah, that's dope. I got this, which was. It seems like each one of these Deadpool books, it gives you like 3 or more stories. Yeah,
Yes,
that's the one I got.
that one.
Yeah, Joseph Michael Linsner. That that that. I mean,
I like that one.
I like a lot of them. There's a few of them that I
Mm-hmm.
like. The A cover is good. I got this Deadpool. Was it Black White Blood?
Black
Um,
one.
it's multiple stories, and usually only one of them is good. There was a few of them that were all right in this one. There was one that was really good, but I think it was by like Tom Taylor or somebody. So of course it was good.
Usually that's how it goes. I know Ram V did one too that was really good because I picked up I think the first 2 issues and then I stopped. I did the same thing with the Wolverine one and what was it? I'm drawing a blank.
Legion of Comics. What's up?
What's up, Mark? Okay, we got
It was a great
Ruka.
day to do this. But yeah, let me see here. Who does these? Um,
Okay,
there's one
some Christmas
Stan
special.
Stan Sakai did
Sans
one.
cut, yeah.
That one was really good. What was the other one that was all right? Number two, The Bet. That was it. So like 2 out of 3 of these stories were pretty good. The first one was all right, but it was just like it went around its elbow to get to its asshole kind of thing. And I was by the time I got to the end, I was just like, why didn't you just go from this part? Like we didn't have to know all that.
If anybody got this, that Tony Fleece, the FOC, somebody let me know. I
I
really
was
want
about
that
to get that one. I
that
really
Stray
was
Dogs.
getting that one. I got
I,
that
I, I
one.
haven't seen anybody that got it from all the
I
channels
tell
I've
you
been
what,
watching.
I did get the Fleece. Have you seen the Fleece Army of Darkness variant? That's
You got that?
the next issue of Army of Darkness. There's a Fleece variant, and
No, I haven't seen it.
it's incredible.
The only I know he does. He's doing like 2 or 3 with Dynamite, the crossovers. He's doing one with Vampirella. He's doing one with Red Sonja. So I didn't know that he was doing one, but I like, you know, I love Stray Dogs. So
Yeah.
any more of Stray Dogs, like, especially with them crossing continuity and stuff like that, hell yeah.
Let's
Like,
see.
and plus they're actually picking books where they kind of fit in, being horror and
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 121, the Eastman variant, because dude, his art is so good. Like he just,
yeah.
I could just get the Eastman variants and just be happy with that. This stuff's pretty fun. I mean, Raph almost murdered a guy. That was pretty interesting. The dude tried to get away, and he was like tired of chasing the dude, so he just grabbed one of his thighs and rammed it all the way through the guy's shoulder and into the wall. It was like, "Stay put," and I was like, "Oh my god, Raph! Holy crap,
Stay
dude!
put.
You're way more violent than you used to be, and I still like it. This is great. Like you were the. That's what I loved about the Turtles. You had a little part of them in each one of every one of us has a little nerdiness in them. That's Donatello, right? Every once in a while, people stand up and like take the lead on certain things, whether it's like work projects or whatever. That's your, your Leonardo. Some people, every once in a while, people just like to let loose and party, and that's Michelangelo. And then everybody's, don't piss me off thing is like Raphael. It's like four things that are in every one of us. I swear it was a psychological experiment.
I think so, and that's why they're all named after like famous artists that were all depictions on psychological models as it was, like Leonardo and Michelangelo.
What up, circumstances?
Splinter, I think, was the same thing. So, in a brief explanation, because I have no knowledge on Ninja Turtles in comics, in a brief explanation, what are the Turtles up to currently?
The Turtles,
besides the last Ronin, don't tell us that
the
shit.
Turtles are currently.
Everybody knows.
Let's see. Okay, there are two groups. They found out they're not just turtles. There's a whole like
There's mutants.
separate group of mutated animals. There's like little weasels and all kinds of other stuff. So
that's my group.
Half of them like humans and want to like live adjacent to humans, i.e. the turtles, because April and all that good stuff. The other group want to segregate themselves from humankind because they don't want to be around humans because they know humans are going to look at them weird. It's kind of like X-Men. It's kind of like X-Men.
Yeah.
Some mutants want to live away from humans because they don't want to have to deal with the stigma and blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And some mutants don't want to. They still want to be around their friends and family and not let everybody go. So it's basically the same thing. But things have recently turned violent to where some of the turtles, I want to say Michelangelo's children, one of his children was kidnapped.
Children?
Yes, they have children.
They got children?
Yes, turtles. The turtles.
Who are they having babies with? Is they all messing with Jamaica or whatever it is? All
I think
four
so.
of
I
them?
think it's like,
taking turns. Yeah. She gets pregnant 4 times a year or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and then like April, of course, ends up with Casey.
Oh yeah, I knew that. I knew
she
that.
was really close to Michelangelo too. So
yeah. Okay, yeah, so who's the current bad guy? Because as far as I know, Shredder's dead, right?
Because the kids in the book are all, let's see, where are the kids? You can tell as soon as you look at them.
Are they ninjas too?
Here's the kids. So they're like little weasels and hamsters, and one of them's a turtle. And I think the turtle one is Michelangelo and what's her name's? Because this whole thing started with the kids running off in the middle of the night, being like, "We're going to do what our, adults that we're around do, and we're going to go solve this situation by using our using our skills to like just beat everybody up." And so they sneak around and they get caught, and so then technically they are kidnapped because now they're being held somewhere against their will, even though they got themselves into it. And so then the turtles and all their friends just were like, screw it, we've got to go get them. The only way to do that is an all-out assault on that side of town. So they had an all-out fist fight. And yeah, it's like twice in 2 issues, Raphael's almost killed somebody without, it's same old. Raphael almost kills somebody stops him.
Who's the bad guy?
No, it doesn't have to be this way, Raph, and it always happens. So like,
who's the main villain? Like, is Shredder dead?
Is another mutanimal. That's what they're called, mutanimals. Originally, I called them Duranimals, but that's like a kid's clothing line at Walmart.
That was Durangos, but
Was it? I don't know. It's something like that.
Danimals are yogurt.
Danimals aren't. Isn't that a snack food?
Yeah, that's yogurt.
Main guy's name.
You gotta get some kids towels.
Actually, I think
Yeah,
this.
who's the bad? Well, what's his name? Who's the bad guy?
I'm looking to see what his name is because I can't quite remember off the top of my head.
Who's kidnapping these turtle and weasel kids?
These tiny turtles.
Hamsters. Damn, beautiful hamsters.
Well, one of the children is this guy's kid. It's like all the kids. It's like kind of like a Romeo and Juliet thing. All the kids get along, and then their parents are feuding, and they're kind of stuck in the middle. So they were hanging out, and they got kind of stuck in the middle of it. What is this guy's name? I cannot remember his name. Ray. His name is Ray. R-A-Y.
That's the bad guy.
Plain, boring. Yeah, he's just got a name. Ray.
Is he the manta ray, bro?
Not like Shredder. No, he's whatever that is. It kind of looks like a cougar. Right there. Yeah. Dude in the blue shirt, that's the bad guy. And the eye patch.
Business attire.
He's kind of like a cougar or something like that. But yeah. It's a whole lot of like there's a really cool part where there's a hermit crab who has a minigun and rocket array strapped to him, and the guy utilizes that. I mean, that right there is worth the price.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That is dope, and you can only find that in like Turtle comics. But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of crazy. Instead of wearing the bandana thing, Michelangelo now wears he just wears an orange stocking cap.
Mark says he's a big fan of cougars. Me too, bro. Me too.
I mean, I think we all are. I
think about it, Mark.
I think all men in general are fan of women, and most of us aren't too picky.
I don't know. Cougars up in our age, they start. It starts getting a little difficult,
Next is Something is Killing the Children, number 20. Tinian, Slowburn, James Slowburn Tinian. That's what I want to call him from now on. I'm not using Tiny Onion. I'm using Slowburn Tinian. That is going to be his name because every one of his books is like the same pace. Nice House on the Lake. His Batman book is paced the same way. His Joker book is paced the same way. It's still good. I like it. I just jumped on it though. I've only been on it for a few issues, so I don't know if it's going to be one of those things where I get like 5 issues in and I'm just like, I really don't like this anymore.
You've only read 2 issues of Something is Killing?
Yeah, like I started at like 18. Like, because I've been chalking it up to being one of those things where it's like Saga. Everybody's like, you have to like this book. And I'm like, I'm probably not going to like it. And y'all are going to be mad at me.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
I could have been like 4 issues in by now if I would have started right back. Because I started getting books again in May. So, but yeah, it's not bad. I mean, there's enough in each issue. She meets this guy, some guy who has they call him the Dragon. And his jaw is like all, I don't know, it's crazy. And she just has a discussion with him. And it's kind of like he's sizing her up kind of thing. And she's just answering things honestly. And he's just chilling. And that's basically the whole issue. And then at the end, he's just like, okay, yeah, she's worthy. And I'm like, okay, is next issue something going to happen that move this a little bit further forward than the barbecue that we're sitting at?
The next issue, that's the last issue. The next issue is the House of Slaughter, where they're about to branch it off and stuff. Because basically that right there is the rewind. That's the origin. So they the beginning of the series, she's a badass.
Jumping in on things deep into it.
The beginning of the series, she's a badass and she's killing monsters and blah blah blah. And then eventually they do the shift where they rewind it and they go back to her origin. That's what you just read. You read the end of her origin story.
Okay, so I need to get House of Slaughter number 1 is basically what you're saying. I need to go ahead.
It's coming and it's going to be big. But okay, in my opinion, and I agree with Mark because he was saying, out of all his written stuff, Department of Truth is probably the higher on the Tinian skill level on where he shines. Because I've read 3 issues of Department of Truth, and all 3 issues I loved them. They were amazing. But I'm kind of like you, where Nice House. I mean, okay, the pacing. I think that's just with time and skill. You know, he's just
Yeah,
gotten into his
that's just
craft
something
where he
he does
knows how to
every time.
pace the story right. I think that's just what that is because people forget that he's been writing for Batman for almost like 15 years now. It's been forever. Um, they act like he's just started Batman. They're like, I don't like Batman's run. Like, bro, he's been writing for Batman for like I think at the end of 52 series, or maybe in that it was somewhere in there. I don't remember. Okay, so something is killing the children. It's like I think a lot of people put it up on a higher pedestal, and I'm not even talking about money wise, story wise, right? And I think it's because we just have a lot of new readers into comic books right now, and to them it is big and new and fresh and
Hmm.
but for people that have read a lot of comic books or novels or stuff like that, it to me it's like a half-half. It's first, it's not new. I mean, I can name off 3 other stories in comics right now that are exactly the same as that story, and they're older. They've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Um, so that type of story wasn't new, but like for the story that I've read so far, because I've only read since like issue 8, I think, and I did go back and read like issues 1 and 2, and I'm missing some. But the story's okay. It hasn't pissed me off where I've stopped it. And like where they're getting at to now is kind of like my favorite part of the story. I'm more interested in the rest of the House of Slaughter, like the other members, and what because in that issue, if you read it, they describe what some of the other houses do, and they what they have, and that to me was kind of cool. I like that part of it, and I like to see people are like, oh, it's a spec, it's a spec. Well, I mean, it's a spec if it makes it into a TV show or a movie. And right now, what we have, what they've given us, is not a show or a movie. It's not even enough to really fill a couple episodes of a show, you know. So I believe his plan and his build up, and he's finally getting into it. Is we're about to see the other members of the House of Slaughter and what they're doing. And I think that could be really cool. It could be like this whole like it kind of reminds me of like kind of like X Force comparatively to the X-Men, what they are. It would be like you'd get to see different branches of the house and stuff and what they do. And I think that's what they're getting
Okay. Well, I'm literally right now about to subscribe to House of Slaughter so I can see if I'm gonna like this, considering I jumped on this at the end.
They should have still have free like from the free comic book day. If you had a chance to grab that, they came out with the first issue of the House of Slaughter.
I didn't grab that one because I thought it was gonna be like a one-shot thing. That was
No,
like
it's
I
going
thought
to
it
be
was gonna be the opposite. I thought like something is killing the children was gonna be going on, and
okay.
yeah,
That's what I thought. And
I thought
as
it
far
was
as
gonna be
I've
one.
heard,
I was like, oh, I can just grab that anytime. I didn't know it was gonna be.
as far as I know, that issue right there was the last issue that we're getting for a while. Now they might start it back up after House of Slaughter. I'm not sure, but as far as I know, that
That.
if you go on FOC, it
I
just
was too
shows
wishy
House of
washy for
Slaughter.
house. Was it Nice House on the Lake? Because I was like, it's when they were like, we're gonna take a 6 month break and then do the last. I was like, I'm good. I'm good. Like, just give me if you got all the 6 issues, just print them out. Just I can do it all now. I just don't want to
Well,
wait.
I mean, DC has done that a lot, and I can understand people that got into Nice House on the Lake just because of Tinian and stuff like that. But if you've read DC, this has been happening a lot where they've done that with series. People hate Doomsday Clock because it took so long for it to come out. Like that part's not new. So I mean, them and that happens in TV shows every time, right? We watch The Walking Dead. What do they do every year? They take a winter fucking break.
Mm-hmm. We got lots of people in the chat. How many people are watching? 5. I think that's
I
the
don't
most
know.
people I have watch the live thing. I'm bringing you on every time from now. It's gotta be
You see,
Mike. Gotta be Mike doing it. All right. Next is
I got
Berserker,
I
which is
got I go wherever I get the link.
Berserker number 5, which is basically the same thing as something's killing. I'm waiting for you get like little tidbits every issue of like what's going on with this dude, and like he wants to
It's
die,
another.
but he can't die, so he's helping our government, so they'll try to figure out a way to kill him. I'm like I don't know. He's got some kind of like fake romance going with his therapist. I don't know, like where there's some kind of tension going on there. I don't know how that's
Really stop that.
Take
That
that
was,
one.
I think that was all just manipulation by her part. My thing is, I think people are missing something major in the story. They're
I
so
think so too.
excited and
I think
everything.
she's up to something. I don't.
I can pinpoint you something, bro. She has called him three different names throughout the series in issue 1, issue 3, and issue 5. I don't think we're seeing the same dude in every issue.
I don't know. Like, yeah, it something's up. So, I'm missing something because I feel like this is
The
moving.
end of that book. Look, flip to the end of that book.
There's this guy. I'm like,
And,
who's this?
and look where it takes you. It shoots from her talking to him, having him linked up to all that stuff. And she's like, yes, we finally got it. And the next thing, they like show him in a copper, like on a chopper on the way to a mission or something like
Yeah,
that.
like I mean, I don't get.
I think we're seeing multiple people. I
Maybe,
think I think they are literally manipulating,
or maybe this
like,
whole issue was her talking to somebody else entirely, and
yeah.
it just involved his memories. So that's the only reason he was in it.
It started
Yeah,
throwing me off because if you go back to the first and second issue, his origin story changes drastically every time he tells the story. In the beginning, he killed his dad. In the second
you know, my
time,
dad
yeah, it
saved
was
my
like an
dad.
army. It was like an army that killed his dad. Like
Yeah,
he's the only one that's immortal, so his father would not be dying multiple ways. No, I think I literally think people are missing that bit of information right there. That it's not the same dude. Like I
it
think
is.
he's based off the same dude or something like that. Maybe they've cloned him or something, and they're trying to figure out how he is immortal. I get that part of it, but I don't think
So,
they're
so what
talking
you're
the
saying is
same.
Keanu Reeves is a big fan of Moon Knight, and he just wanted to do Moon Knight and not call it Moon
Mhm.
Knight.
I think it's more like Palpatine with the clones. I think it's a
Oh,
bunch of
could be.
clones.
Could be.
They always show him in the facility. They've only shown him twice outside the
You remember
facility.
when they redid RoboCop and they showed all the failed RoboCop experiments that they made that
Hmm.
went crazy and
Hmm.
shot themselves or killed somebody else? Maybe that's what they've been
Yeah,
doing to this guy this whole time, cloning him to keep him alive. But then every time, like they're trying to like get more
and
information
just
out of
get rid of him and go to the next one. Yeah. I mean, because he has, yeah, I don't know if, I mean, because you have to imagine if the guy would be, and we've seen that, but okay, so if he was alive that long, he would have millions of names, right? Or not millions, but like maybe a couple dozen or something like that. But like, I could get that part of it. But the fact that it was such key things that were pointed out to me as I was reading, I didn't see it like that. I saw it as like that's something that they're trying to pass over on us. So when you finally are revealed that it hasn't been the same guy, they're gonna be like, "Bro, you need to go back to the beginning of the book and read." Like,
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I kept feeling like I was missing something. Like I was just like, what's going on here? Because it just seemed
Keon,
like,
the Berserker, I do love it, but the book that I can compare it to that I believe it's exactly like that book is Bunny Mask. Like Bunny Mask is great, everybody loves it, the art is cool and everything, and people kind of have a grasp on the story, but really nobody knows what the fuck's going on. It's the same thing like Berserker. We have no idea what's going on. I mean, as far as we know, it's like this cute little girl that's talking to this guy and talking about his past dreams because he can't sleep and he wants to
yeah.
die.
I mean, she's his therapist, of
Yeah,
course.
sure.
Yeah, of course. Dave said that we're the dynamic duo. Which one of us is Robin? If the Robin is Dick Grayson, I will totally be Robin, and he can be Batman. But
Or if it's Robin King, that's me.
so there you go.
I'd be Stephanie
Clone,
Brown.
yeah,
Stephanie
like
Brown is so
yeah, they're
good.
doing a Clone Saga already for Berserker. Like, yep.
Bro, Stephanie Brown. I just thought about that. Dude, how cool is that? Like, people don't know about Stephanie Brown. Bro, she was the Robin that was using a slingshot. Like,
All right, next up is GI Joe Yearbook number 3, which is a reprint of Yearbook number 3. I was wondering because I've already got a yearbook from them, and I was like, why are they doing another yearbook? I thought annual was once a year. That's why they call it an annual. This
so
is a
they tricked
reprint
you.
of the third annual they ever did for GI Joe, and it's
They
just
tricked
like.
you into buying another comic that you already physically had and you didn't even realize you were being tricked.
And I was pissed for a while. I was like, man, I just bought a reprint, and then I turned around and I read it, and I was like, you know what, this ain't that bad because it's old GI Joe, so it was really good.
They have the same exact art and everything, and then like an exact facsimile.
Uh, story
Or
by
is it updated?
pencils by what is this dude's name? Ron Wagner. I don't know who that is. This is the first time of me seeing any of his artwork. But Max Sheely is my favorite colorist. I have a favorite colorist. That's right.
I don't know
And
if I do. I don't think I do
it's
have a favorite
Max
colorist or a
Sheely.
letter. I don't know if I've been able to
Never cared.
decipher between like letters or colors. Like,
But yeah, it's a reprint of an old GI Joe issue, and it's so phenomenal. It really is. It's just, oh my god, it's so good.
I know Sith guy.
And then there's also some additional stuff in here. There is an article that somebody printed about G.I. Joe when it first came out on television. They threw that in there.
What was that?
Some original artwork, Lady Jade.
Oh, okay. That's actually really good. Who's the original artwork by? Because now it's probably somebody famous.
Actually, there's a few pieces of art in here, and I do not know who did all these. There's Serpentor. There's all these like little prints or whatever that make people probably want to tear this book. And then here's something else that's really cool. They did storyboards. They put up storyboards, like they put it in the comic storyboards for an episode of G.I. Joe, and showed how the whole episode was put together in like storyboard form, all drawn up, and then they just animated it. Because I mean, there's parts where Sergeant Slaughter, if you're still here, there you are, sir.
Wow.
Yeah. So there is Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughterhouse doing his thing. I swear, if it's really Sergeant Slaughter, I applaud you, sir, for years of joy in my childhood. But yeah, storyboard, and that's pretty much it. So it was an original reprint. It's an original reprint. It's ads, storyboards, and here's some more original art at the end of the storyboards. There's some before and then some after. Dinner with Serpentor, where they ordered pizza, and what's his name? Mr. Mindbender thought that he would be pissed, and Serpentor was like, "No, I remember when I was a centurion in Rome, and we were on the battlefield one time, and somebody made pizza, and it cheered everybody up, and we won the battle pretty much because we were in such high spirits from eating pizza." And they were like, "For real?" And he was like,
No.
he was like, I think he says no. He was like, "No, I just wanted to make everybody feel better," or something shit like that. It was great.
God have pizza back in the centurion.
More pin up stuff.
Yeah, that's dope.
So it wasn't $5.99, and it's just as big as the $10 book I got from Marvel. So
$5.99. That's not bad.
Marvel won again. I mean, IDW won again. Marvel lost. See,
well, it was a reprint. It was a reprint. You're comparing it to a real comic. So
Are you buying? Dude, I'm getting the Conan reprint. I'm getting the X-Men one that's coming out too. Like, I'm getting them.
What's the Conan one?
The X-Men one is the first Juggernaut, and then the Conan one is Conan #1. It's a reprint of Conan #1. I'm getting it.
I buy
322. I literally picked this cover just because of a big ass gun.
That's dope. Who is that? Cabela or Greg Capullo?
No, actually, the guy who does the art is a guy. The cover art is a guy named Bjorn Behrens.
Who?
He's like Swedish. Bjorn Behrens. He does like.
Oh, I do recognize
art. It's like it's something he does digitally. It's something where he like, takes art and then he like digitalize it to make it look. My camera's not going to do it justice. To make it look like it's real life.
I can see it. It looks good.
So. Yeah, he did the cover on this, and then Carlo Barberi is doing the interior art, and he's phenomenal too. I have no idea where he came from, but Todd does that. Every artist who does Spawn, you're going to get good art because Todd's not going to slack on art. He at least wants the art to be really good in the book, whether the story's in or not.
Smell Boja still in the story?
Right now.
Or is Violator still in the story?
Where like Spawn's. He's trying to fight some demon that is escaping his grasp, and the demon is using people around him to get to him. So literally, he has went from like kicking everybody the fuck out of his like little hideout.
Mark was saying Bjorn did the variant for Hulk. That's where I know him from. I love that variant. It looks cool. Dude. That's right. Yeah.
It takes some really good like art to like not because that's usually the cover A for Spawn. Usually cover B is Todd or somebody else C is somebody else, and then Todd will do
C
it.
is usually Capullo.
It takes a whole lot of good artwork, and it takes like being somebody that I really, really, really like to not me.
Lately, it's been like Todd and Capullo, and then it's like a guest artist because it's surprising that Capullo started because Capullo was big on DC for a while, so I don't know if that's a permanent thing.
Carlo Barbari's artwork is really, really good.
Because that's the poster. But there's Capullo.
In this issue, he's tracking down. He tracks down a vampire, and this vampire is
King Spawn and Kincaid are the big bad guys. So King Spawn is a bad guy?
Huh?
King Spawn is a bad guy?
Yeah.
He's a villain? Explain that. Is King Spawn different from regular Spawn? Is King Spawn not Al Simmons?
No, it's not Al Simmons.
Okay, because I know Gunslinger. See, I only read up until like issues 5 or 6 of Spawn.
He came back, but then I think he died again, and somebody else became Spawn. So I don't even know who spawned this time. This thing got to the point where I don't even know who it is. Yeah, he captures a vampire who's of course been vampiring people. He forces this guy to run down a hallway that's covered in spikes, and it tears the guy apart. Since he's undead, it doesn't kill him. It tears him apart.
Oh, Travis is right. Travis said all Spawns are evil. Yeah, well, duh, but there is a villain in this story. Okay, Al Simmons was supposed to be the hero. Right?
I mean, yeah, Al Simmons was not a hero. He was not a good man. He was a mercenary. He killed people. Yeah. Like he was not admirable. And
but in the beginning of Spawn, it was all about him trying to avenge Wanda, and
yeah, that was pretty much it. After that, he had no plan. Like he just wanted to avenge his death and avenge Wanda and all, and avenge what had got taken away from him. The best part is when the guy gets through to the other side of the room, and finally does it because he's a vampire. He loses like a leg, like a whole leg, most of his arm. He's like all cut up and stuff. Spawn tells him, by the way, the hallway you just went down, that door that's in that room is the way out. You have to go back down there, but here's the key. You earned it. And he's standing there with his 2 hungry dogs. And then
who is that? Just some random vampire?
Yeah. And then, by the way, it's not just going to be that you have to go back through because you're undead. I'm going to let the dogs go too, and they're going to chase you back down the hallway. So it's gory, dude. I love it.
With the one leg.
Bloody. It's horrible things that are on Earth happening to them. And then there's big advertisement at the back. This is the one I can't wait for. That Gunslinger.
The Gunslinger Spawn, yeah. Because he's somebody different too.
I love Brett Booth. It's a winning combination. I'm getting all the Booth covers. I mean, normally, everybody's doing covers for it. Capullo's doing a cover. McFarlane's doing a cover. They've got a whole bunch of people doing covers. I'm just going to get the Brett Booth one. Transformers Halloween Special. This is pretty dope. This reminds me of this honestly is written like an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like, Starscream apparently used to have a mentor that he used to go roam the planet with and, go discover things. And they would go scavenge and stuff and try to find Energon cubes, right? Well, one day, his mentor went out and never came back. He hears a ghost tale of a glowing light that's coming out of a cave inside on the planet where they're at. So there's some kind of dissension in the ranks where people don't trust Starscream for some reason. How would you not trust Starscream? He's the most upstanding robot you could ever want. I mean, he's just great person. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's.
You being serious?
Or? Not at all. Why would you not trust him? But they don't trust him, and he overhears it. He gets all pissy. He leaves. Now on the way out, he hears this ghost tale. So he says, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go find it." He goes and finds it, and it turns out it's his mentor. She is trapped. She is trapped digitally, like a thing that looks like Golem. It looks like Smeagol. Like this creature is trapped in this cave, and it's barely staying alive. And its consciousness is his mentor. And so he ends up going into the body, and he's like, let's get out of here. And she's like, you don't get it. This thing has to have a consciousness. We can't both get out of here. I'm going to leave you here because I'm just going to think of myself and be selfish. And I'm going to leave you here, and then I'm going to leave in your body, and nobody's ever going to know that I'm not you're not you.
Yeah.
And so Starscream has to make a decision, but I will give you one guess as to how it ends, of what decision Starscream makes, who is a villain, on whether to let his mentor leave and be him forever.
He killed her.
Let's put it this way: A Starscream left
He
that.
blew up some rocks and closed the cave. Sealed her in there and be like, "Deuces, I'll see you later." Hey, Megatron.
Yes, Starscream is the jet. In case you, Richard, hey, nice. What's up, Richard?
He is the jet.
And then it is not a robot Schmeagle. It is not a robot Schmeagle comic journey. It is a Schmeagle looking. I have look. It's a Schmeagle looking creature. It's a Schmeagoloid.
A Schmeagoloid.
Yeah.
Are you making up names, or was that in the comic? A Schmeagoloid.
There's a group of Schmeagles. It's called a Schmaggle. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Now, how did you say that without laughing? Smaggle.
It's a Schmaggle.
Were there a group of Smeagles?
It's called a Schmaggle.
That's a room I do not want to walk into. There's a whole bunch of golems in there, and they're all like, "Smeagol, it's mine." I feel like the weirdest for like.
He's a Schmeagle. He has these things.
Oh, you're not lying.
He's attached to this robot tree by its root, which is a thing that is attached to his head, and he can't pull it off because he'll die. He is a robot yes, free energy. I said a Schmaggle. A Schmaggle is a gaggle. Say that 5 times fast. I dare anybody. Oh my god.
It's a Schmaggle of Schmeagles.
So yeah, it's a Smeagol looking Smeagol. It is literally like, I swear, if is
it a girl or a guy?
It does not
give
a
girl, huh?
It kind of, I mean, it does not give a gender. I don't know.
We just found Smeagol's long lost love. Huh?
The sign for the room would be "Keep out Schmaggle inside."
Schmaggle inside. Right. After he said that's what like Starscream put up on the rocks after he sealed her in there.
Smaggles.
If you say the Smaggle, don't go in there.
So Star Wars 17.
All right. War of the Bounty Hunters.
No, this is just the main title. This is not the war title. I just get the main title. I'm not getting High Republic. I'm not getting all that. It's just straight Star Wars. Yeah, it is. It's a tie-in. I mean, it's got part in it. Was it Luke is not ready to face Vader? He's afraid because Vader whacked his whack-off hand off. So he has to switch hands, which makes him upset. So he's trying to avoid Vader. Vader comes after him, chases him down. This ensues. What happens what is on the cover happens in the book. He thinks he got the best of Vader. Come to find out, Vader's not an easy person to shake. He's actually a skilled pilot, but he's even more skilled Jedi. Who knew? He's half robot, half Jedi. Is really skilled at it.
Not his son.
Does the Smeagol have a Hulk Hogan handlebar mustache? Probably not as good as mine. Mine's better than the Smeagol's.
They're hairless.
I didn't see one though.
So he lost the gender. That's what happens when you become a Smeagol. That's why they're genderless.
So yeah,
that's part of the
ritual. All the while, we get to see Lando Calrissian sweet talk the Millennium Falcon, and basically reveal that the way that he has kept this ship running as good as he had when he had it, not when Han had it. When he had it, when it was actually fast, was because him and the ship are like best good friends. They are like Forrest and Bubba, and they talk to each other and they help each other out, and like so it makes the Falcon sentient.
They go on like long journeys and have like
they go. And he does this without anybody else knowing it, and then everything comes back online. Stuff starts working. And he's like, "There you go, Chewie. There's your ship back. Go ahead. You got it from here. I'll probably just slow you down." And I was like, "You need to tell him you just had to sweet talk that ship and it's getting fixed." Because, like, that's the thing. They're always fixing that ship. And you mean to tell me that Han could just be like, "Look here, baby. I love you and you love me. We've been through a lot together. This is my best Elvis impersonation. This is when Elvis used to break it down. He used to talk people into the crowd. He'd be like, and he just has a hard part of the ship and then fixes it. That seems right. But yeah, and they go after Han Solo and Carbonite, who is on a Imperial transport on the way to a big ship. But unbeknownst to them, in an effort for what happened last issue for Skywalker to get what he needed to get done, he pissed off the Hutts. I think it was the Hutts.
Oh, okay.
Like Jabba's brother or some shit, and they're also going after the transport. But they're not doing it
Yeah.
Han Solo. They're doing it to piss off the Empire.
Mm.
Yeah, they're just and this is getting kind of interesting. There's stuff going from all different directions. It's still good. It's nostalgic. This is so nostalgic for me. I would literally this is what I like, is like Star Wars nostalgia. It's the same thing, just little side stories revolving around the story we already know. They can even go off into new stuff, but as long as it stays like, this and not all Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Savage Avengers. I just got on this.
Damn
this is
you.
like my first issue of this.
Damn you.
Oh my God.
I want to read that so bad. Like out of all the Marvel movies, it's that and Strange Academy.
Send it to you, homie. I really might. I might do you a solid. I might go through all that trouble just to buy it because it's really good.
Well, I might be able to get it digitally, so let me look before you send it to me. But
I won't ruin it for you. Kane's in it.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not bothered by spoilers at all.
Okay.
I've heard a lot about it because Ultra Maximus, he talks about it a lot. So I've heard some of the story.
Covenant have a they do the whole like Cold War thing. It's like, look, you rub my back, I'm gonna rub yours. I'll help you, you help me. We don't like each other, and it's hilarious. And being Kang involved, it also involves the fact that time is involved. So there's that. It's what is it? Conan goes to Kang. Kang has a time machine. Conan fights an impossible fight to bide time while Kang is going to get. Oh, what is he going to get? People, more people. I think more people. I think I think like more like Marvel Universe characters. So Kang is going to show up to like a version of Peter Parker of Spider-Man in some Marvel universe and be like, "Hey, Conan needs your help," and he's gonna be like, "Sure, let's go, Kang the Conqueror. Yeah, I totally trust you to jump in your lead sled and see how this goes." Like, because it looks like a big Barca Lounger is his time machine. Yeah, Venom's totally gonna be on board with that. He's gonna come back. The Avengers, they're gonna be like, "Totally, Kang. Why should we distrust you? Let's go. Where's the portal? Let's go help Conan, who needs our help.
Yeah.
Who's probably dead by the time we get there because it's Conan."
Because it's Kang.
Comic Journey wants to know Smeagol. It was just a Smeagol trapped in a cave.
What do you want? What do you want to know about Smeagol?
Full electrons. It is a full appearance of Smeagol. This is not no 181 conspiracy. The next issue will not have the cover where the Smeagol is on it. So I guarantee.
Yeah, it's a one-time deal because the ending.
His only appearance probably is going to be in this Halloween special.
And Starscream is wearing Smeagol's skin at the end of the book, so it tells you something.
Imagine Starscream.
Look, it's on the damn cover. Look, he's wearing the skin.
Look. Yep, that is Starscream Smeagol right there. That is. Can you imagine like Starscream doing his best Smeagol impersonation? Like he's trying to talk to Megatron, and he's like, "My precious."
That's how it'd come out. It'd be like, "My precious."
Yeah, or something like that. It's just like all robotic. Megatron's looking at him like, "You're stupid. Go away." Swamp Thing, 8 of 10. This is so good, dude. Oh my! The cover is amazing on its own. I love Swamp Thing for one reason only. Swamp Thing uses colors that no other book in DC or in Marvel
browns and
in their book. Those purples and pinks, and uses like they find these greens that are not like any other green you've seen.
Chop and drop.
Huh?
Chop.
Like it's like a tree, but then it's got like little blooms of like what are those little white
red,
but they're pink instead of like.
Oh, you're talking about the like the Japanese blossoms.
Yeah, that's it. And then you get stuff like this. You get the greens, which don't look like any other. I swear they make special greens for comic book artists to use in Swamp Thing comic books. I just love the colors. And then they use purple. The background's purple in this one.
They use a lot of green and purple.
I mean, look at that. There's a Peacekeeper. In this issue, he fights Peacekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty dope. I've been loving this. Like
Peacekeeper and somebody else, wasn't it? Him and Vigilante? Isn't it both of them? It's a Peacekeeper and Vigilante?
Yeah. Well, Vigilante left.
Yeah.
Fighting Chemo? Is that what this character's name is?
Yeah, the Superman bad guy.
And then he fights this thing, which is like, you know how like Hulk has Red Hulk, or the Abomination? Well, this thing
has
is
the
like
purple Hulk.
Thing's Abomination, and he fights this thing.
Had a baby.
Oh, God. Art is so good in this book. Mike Perkins is incredible. Like all these greens and purples and pinks, I love it. It is ridiculous how good this art is. This is like my favorite DC book as far as art right now. Look at that.
Did they use Swamping Special Green on Chimigo? I don't know what Chimigo is.
I don't either.
What's Chimigo?
Oh, what's up? We got Chop and Drop. Chop's in the shop.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Chop.
Oh, yeah, Chop. Let's see. Did they use Swamping Special Greens on Chimigo? I have no idea.
They probably copyrighted like colors. I'm pretty sure they did that with certain colors. Like Spider-Man Red or.
Have you seen this?
No. What is that?
That is a new DC book, Dark Knights of Steel.
Oh, yes, I have. That looks good.
I'm thinking about getting this. I really, really
am. I got to read the first 2 pages of it. It looks really good.
Tom Taylor wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm really thinking about getting that. That looks really cool.
It's supposed to be like a medieval version of, the DC characters, kind of like what they did with Deceased.
Mm-hmm. I hate to say this, but this kind of reminds me of, and nobody kill me for saying this, I'm not saying their art is the same. You remember Pitt from the 90s, Neil Keown?
Yeah, I have.
Every issue of Pitt was like over the top as far as the art went, like it was the craziest. It's the way Mike Perkins is doing the Swamp Thing book, where it's just like the craziest things he can put in there, like all these details and these crazy. I mean, splash pages are like 2 pages of splash pages, but they've got. It's like he went broke every single panel. He just like, I'm gonna make it like I would make a splash page, and then you're just gonna have to shrink it. Yeah, I really love the Swamp Thing book. So originally there was a problem with the green, which is like heaven for Swamp Thing. Comes to find out there's nuclear stuff. There's like a nuclear bomb under London. It's making people aggressive in that area. There's one in this forest. There's like a nuclear thing. It's all that stuff. It's just environment's being trashed. He's supposed to go clean it up, but now he's got his brother, the guy who is now Swamp Thing's brother, is also a person of the green, and so they have 2 different ways of looking at everything. He wants to be like, people can live in harmony with the environment, and his brother's like, let's just kill all the people and then have just the environment. And so they're
Did they ever finish off the stuff with Queen Ivy?
No, she's been in this art, or not this art, but she's been in this storyline. She was a couple issues ago. She was still like queen of the green. She's still there looking over everything. She's fine with him being there because he's part of the green. But I think
I was wondering because she showed up at the beginning of Fear State
with him to the green, and Poison Ivy tried to kill her. And Swamp Thing had to grab her and take her out and stuff like that.
Well, I know she crossed over to Batman because she showed up at the beginning of Fear State. That's where Miracle Molly and
actually the next cover I have is the cardstock cover with her on it. It's like the red
with Ivy.
Yeah, with Ivy on it. Speaking of Batman, all right, I got 4 books left. So these are my top 4 of the stuff that I've read that came out over the past 2 weeks. Batman 114 is one of them. I already like the art, but this Tinian book, this was the payoff. This is like the burn, and it was all action, and I loved it.
Yeah,
this is incredible. This is what I want out of a Batman book every issue. Well, maybe not every issue. every once in a while he needs to do some.
Every like 4 or 5 issues, you know.
Yeah, like every 4 or 5 issues he just goes ham, but then the rest of the time he's doing awesome detective / techie stuff, like he's using gadgets or using his brain. And then third is detective.
Yeah, it was great. That book right there.
This was really, really, really good. It was hard to pick between these two, but
I'm
this
trying to
one,
remember what went down in that book, but that was
but
good.
this
That
one,
was
he's
yeah, and the detective, because that
he's
came out
trying
like 2 weeks ago.
he was trying to get away from the vigilante chasing things, and he finally gets cornered. And they think they're going to catch. Wait, no, what? No, the mayor. We know that the mayor now has something to do with the scarecrow thing,
Oh yeah, and he was the next target, and Batman was like sneaking
and
in there to
Batman's
go, and
saved from getting
yeah, he
whacked.
gets help from Ghostmaker, and oh yeah, I remember now. I
He
remember.
gets help from Ghostmaker, and he gets help from Jason Todd,
Mm-hmm.
who refuses. That is basically what won this number two. Like, this is just so good. This splash page, double page splash page. I don't make myself read.
They've had a lot of those.
Is this
Yeah,
it?
right there. I think you just click on.
That was what made me really love this book so much.
Put it back up because you didn't keep it up long enough. It like lagged. Make yourself big. There you go.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. Now you can put it back.
Oh yeah, that was when I seen this. When I opened up this splash page, I was like, "Holy crap, this is so good." Um, but yeah, so he does the whole "Who does number?" I love this. Who do you work for? All I heard in my head was "Who does number two work for?" That scene out of Austin Powers
Mm-hmm.
where he's drowning the guy in the toilet. The guy,
Lucky Charms, yeah.
yeah, that's all I heard in my head. So all I heard was Batman being like, "Who does number two
Who
work for?"
do you work for? Yeah.
Comic Journey is driving and talking his comments. Google sucks.
Yeah, that's what he was saying before.
Man.
That's what he was saying before. Hey, SSG. That's what he was saying before. It said, did they use Swamping Special Green on Smeagol? Is what he was asking earlier.
Autocorrect. Yeah,
That's like I hate my autocorrect,
I think
man.
they do have certain colors patented for certain things. I really do.
I think they do.
But yeah, then at the end, for some reason, Red Hood decides, you know what? I'm not going to stop fighting these vigilante things. Oh yeah, the fight between the peacekeepers happened in this book too. That's right.
It was the beginning of it.
Oh my god! No, this is the end of it. Is this the end of it?
No, Batman was the end of it.
This was the end of it. That was. But
Yeah,
then,
because that book came out last week,
yeah,
and Batman Detective came out 2 weeks ago.
yeah. That's right. So yeah.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Oh, thank God.
I know
Yeah, for some reason, Red
Mark's
Hood's
on
not going to
it.
stop fighting the vigilante forces, and he decides that he's going to get caught on purpose because he just really wants to beat the hell out of these guys. Which I think that's the only drawback for me for this whole book was the fact that I was like, Jason Todd wouldn't do it like that. He's not that stupid. He knows that he's going to either get arrested. He's more likely just going to get arrested. Like, why would you stay and try to fight like every cop in Gotham? That's like.
I mean, we know what happens eventually because he gets tasked as a
Yeah, he gets
peacemaker.
caught
They're just
by what is her name? Waller?
yeah, because he's going to Task Force Z.
Which I don't know
They
why
show at the
one shot. They're gonna make a 12-issue miniseries of like the DC universe fighting vampires and zombies and
well, they're all dead. All those characters in the background. I'm like
oh, yeah,
Man
yeah.
Bat, Sundowner, Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight died in the A bombing.
There
What
was
do
an
you
A
call it, man?
bombing. What about missed out of Batman? Who used the nuke?
That's what A Day. That's what they call
Oh, was that
the
the thing
bombing.
where Arkham blew up or whatever?
That's where
Okay.
Bane died. That's where because Bane's presently dead. You know damn, what the hell is his name? There's a bunch of Batman's villains that are currently supposedly dead. But that's what that storyline is. Someone is secretly has been recovering their bodies and reanimating them, and that's why Jason Todd is going to lead that team. The only one that I don't know how they died, because I know how most of them died, but it's the Sundowner. I don't know how he died, and I don't know how Man Bat died. They haven't revealed that, because I had the whole Man Bat miniseries, and they tell us that
Read what
Man
Dave
Bat's
said. Read what Dave said.
show that tear to his body. That's right, buddy.
Go
um,
ahead.
Hey, Nicole. But yeah, the only one that I don't really know who's dead, they haven't revealed yet is Man Bat. He's going to appear in Justice League Dark. They've told us that, which is coming.
Yeah,
Because they're going.
I got the annual order that's going to start off with an annual, and then I guess it's going
Hmm.
to be as a main title. This I'm definitely going to get it because, like I said, I'm going to start getting all these books like Savage Avengers. I'm going to try to get all the Savage Avengers I can find, read it, see if I like it. Justice League Dark, I want to get into that because I like supernatural ish.
Ram V, man. Ram V is going to be writing it. So, I mean,
Oh,
he's
is he?
writing now. He's doing the side stories.
Did you see
You know,
the other Swamp Thing book that's going to come out?
yeah, I did. And that looks
Jeff
good too.
Lemire, Green Hell, Swamp
Hmm.
Thing, reissue mini.
Hmm.
I'm gonna pick that up. That's got to happen. This is my number 2 book, and I guarantee you, everybody's gonna be like, "What?" American Mythology Monsters number
Yeah, I
2
remember you telling me.
by American Mythology Productions. This is like the most indie book I think I've ever bought, and this is incredible. It's like it really reminds me of like Tales from the Crypt. It's like 3 stories, and each one of them has a twist, horrible ending that is incredible. I love it. It's not like this. This does not happen in this issue. Like there is no huge fight.
Um,
I just love this stuff. Like I love the whole
I don't.
cliffhanger.
Sorry, I was answering the chat. I'd read some. I don't think Killer Croc is alive. I think he's one of the ones that are out.
I think he's dead.
Yeah, I think he died in A-Day because Bane and a couple of them died. But I know recently they've revealed that they might not be dead. Like Bane might not be dead, and some of the other ones. And SSG, too bad, man. You better pick it up while you can. You know, if you miss that sucker, it's gonna be gone. That's fine. You know, I've done that with action figures. I've seen stuff on the shelf, and I'm like, I'll go back and get it. Nobody's gonna get it. I go
Very
back,
good.
and a minute later, it's gone.
Sleepy said he hasn't seen this anywhere. Yeah, I haven't seen anybody pull it either, and
I never
apparently it's
seen
an
that.
ongoing thing. And I just happened to see it in previews, and I was like, that looks interesting. I want to start getting into stuff like this. So yeah, like I, we'll we just got so much Swamp Thing and Avengers like Dark Avengers. Like I'm gonna start getting all that stuff too.
Dark Avengers is great. I did read that back.
What does this say? Dave collects.
Because they're blaming me because yesterday I said that thing about like you know the FOMO thing, and when you come across something, some of my best advice is if you see it and you have the money to get it, you better get it, because if you decide for some other reason on not to pass it up and you go back, for one, it's going to be gone, and two, you'll probably never see it again. I've had a lot of stuff like that in my life where, yeah, I mean, because like that's a weird thing, right? Action figures that you see right now, they don't stay in the stores. Every year we get new action figures, Hot Wheels, everything cycles. So I mean, if you miss something, it's gone. Hot Wheels like that, bro. Like if I look a year in advance to know, because Hot Wheels drop in quarterly fashions. They have like they have A through Z. They drop boxes, but how they drop them is they come in for quarterly. But like, okay, for every year they do a Batman set. So like I have to see which Batman cars are coming out and what sets they're coming out. Bro, it's a cycle. And if you miss that,
I saw
I
someone
saw
post a
somebody.
Kool Aid Man comic yesterday.
This is
I'm
a
like,
Kool-Aid man comic book? What the
I seen somebody fighting for the thirsties. I saw somebody who
Batman
said that they
Smeagol? I
were
want
getting
that.
stuff from their childhood and they were getting all these childhood cartoons turned comic books. And today I found out that there was a Biker Mice from Mars comic book, and now I really want that
Oh
thing.
yeah.
I was like, what? Where have these been? And my number 1 book for the past 2 weeks, Amazing Fantasy #3, the miniseries that Marvel's is doing right now. The twist at the end of this, I totally didn't see coming. It completely blindsided me. I did not see it coming at all. Like I was really, really, really shocked.
That's
My,
actually what I didn't like about the book was the twist
oh my
ending.
God, I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know if I like it because it was a huge twist ending that I didn't see coming at all. It made no
I
sense.
didn't either.
It makes
Yeah,
no sense.
that's my
No,
problem is why? Why? They're
I
already
guess we'll
dead.
find out in
We're
issue.
already
Like, I mean, oh my God.
like did we literally just read 3 minutes of like 3 books of nothing because they're about to like totally flip the script and be like, no, you're not in hell or some afterlife. Mysterio's just tricking the hell out of you and like, bro, and then when we found that reveal, I don't know if I like that. Like, I love this book up until that point, and then all the questions that I got from that one moment, I was like, bro, what the hell am I reading then? If that's not the explanation on this fantical crap, then what am I reading?
Like, I'm so, like, literally, the reason that I like this book so much is because this book literally did what comic books are supposed to do. I am so
Yeah,
confused right now that I have to go get the next issue, or I'm not gonna know what is going on in this book or the next one. Like, if I don't read this one, I'm just like, dude, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, what's happening? Where did this come from? Like, how did I not see this coming? Like, Spider-Man's in this book. I should have seen this coming. This is how this works, right? It's the Green Goblin. That's what it is. It's the Green Goblin all along because that's what it always is. Or Doc Ock. Like, he's the mastermind behind all this. I don't
but
know.
that's the problem. It's not even set up as a Spider-Man book. He's not even the first major character you meet, because the first major character we met was Captain America. So it would be, I mean, if you think about it, it would be a Captain America book. And on top of that, he is kind of the main character throughout the thing. I mean, like he's kind of the one that's leading that side of the army. He was the first one that started doing the army thing. So I mean, and Captain America books don't do that. So what the hell? Oh no, it could be Hydra. Oh snap! Oh
Hydra
snap!
could be Hydra in an Elseworld Hydra, Spider-Man, Captain America, Black Widow story.
Tricking everybody. Okay, we just
Dude,
figured it out, folks. You heard it here.
it's like somebody at Marvel had like a cauldron, and people were just walking by throwing crap in it. It was like, it's gonna be a Spider-Man story and a Captain America story and a Black Widow story. And what are we gonna do? Twist ending with I'm like, what? Yeah, it blew my mind. I love it. I love the cover too. I love the art on the
Yeah.
inside. So it won everything.
Well, a lot of people don't know this because a lot of readers are young readers, but this is actually modeled after a very old series of books, and it
Mm-hmm.
was like science fiction fantasy were the
Yeah, it's
books.
science
That's actually
fiction.
where
That's why
Stephen
I call
King got
it
started.
because it's science fiction novels. This used to
Hmm
be a thing back in the day.
That's what I
This is
thought
what
this
kids
series was going to be. Was
Yeah,
going to
this
be like a collection of stories. But so I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be like the first 5 issues is going to be this arc, and then another 5 issues is going to be another arc, and it's going to be some kind of crazy like fantasy adventure. I don't know. I
I don't
do
know.
like
I mean, who's gonna tell them nowadays? Most like
that cover right there. The next one, I've told people they need to see that because that's Storm right there on some
yeah,
Black
that's
Death
normal.
horse.
Yeah, that is so epic. That is the most epic thing I have seen in a long time. That's like the X-Men cover that I'm about to get. The last issue of X-Men that came out where the Headless Horseman is holding Cyclops' head,
Hmm
like headless head, while it's like glowing light. I was like, why has no one done that before now? Nobody in October thought, what can I do with the X-Men cover? But yeah, the interior art's incredible. Just this ending, oh my god! And it's the same person who's writing and drawing it,
hmm
and does the
Carrying
cover.
Andrews
So
and a
yeah,
Comic Journey. There was a Smeagol and Bunny mask.
was there?
Yeah, running around the caves.
Yeah, that is so next issue. That is so incredible. I can't wait to get that. Storm holding Captain America's shield, a couple spears.
The
Big,
orange box, Dave, would be to the right of it'd be right there. Like if you could see it's like right there. If you could see where, but that's where that orange box got moved to.
I actually thought about it today. There is a time here in the next couple of weeks I could have brought the box into another video that I have coming up on somebody else's channel. But yeah, it's right there. And
Is it a Nike box?
I was about to say the box, yeah, orange box. I'll even
Yeah,
give
it's just a
y'all.
Nike.
I'll give you a hint. I'll give everybody who's
It's a
watching the
Nike
live stream.
box.
I hope Rude is not listening.
It's cards. It's either
So
cards or ammunition. It's
Keep my
bullet
English in
shells.
a shoebox. I'm not that
I don't
redneck.
know. I don't know what the hell you do with the shoebox.
You're right back.
All right. What's in the box, man? What's in the box? Yeah, for those of y'all that don't know, there has been an ongoing like thing in with Tylux's channel where we are trying to guess what was in the orange box because originally it used to be in the bookcase behind him before he rearranged everything, and it was like the like most noticeable thing that it used to. We thought it was like a flare box or something, or it looked different in the background, but then when he pulled it up, we saw it was like a shoe box. But we have been steadily trying to guess what is in the box. It could be weed. It might be weed. I would go with that answer. I was thinking there are a whole bunch of like, trading cards. Look, I can show why I got the screen. I can show some people. Look, I pulled out some cards. I can show you some cards.
So yeah, hopefully if Rude is watching, yeah, I could have brought it up in another video where I was going to be like, and here's the box that everybody wants to know what it is. And I'm about to open it right now, sight, and then put the box up. But yeah, so Rude, if you're watching, there's a clue. If Rude is still not watching, do not tell him I gave him a clue.
Chop says that it's a bunch of Legos that you got, and Nicole said it's a bunch of weed that you got. No?
Nicole, I wish.
Right, a box full of weed.
A shoebox? Do you know how much weed
Yeah, full, right? Especially if you're smoking dro.
I was about to say, I don't think I could smoke a shoebox full of weed in a year.
Comic crack, what's up? It's a cat. It is a cat. There's a cat that lives in the box.
What's up? It is a cat, but is it alive or is it dead? We don't know if we never open the box.
Uncle, show us the last comics you got, because I'll show off some trading cards I found today in my collection.
I got, actually, the last things I got were not comics. Well, they are comics, but they're these graphic novels I got from the library. I don't know if everybody saw those yesterday. I don't know how many people. Got a Thunder 1 and 2. And then they have 3 and 4 there, but I'm gonna read those 2 first. And then Batman Year One, Earth 1, Jeff Johns, Gary Frank. I can't wait to read that. And
Comic Journey, you're absolutely right.
Yesterday,
he thinks
this. Where is it? Aha! I opened this on Journey's channel.
It's a model. Ooh, that's a good answer. Yeah, the Gleason.
The Gleason.
And they're going off in the chat. Okay.
There is no no. This is not a Hogan. I do not have like fake. I don't know if you look at Hulk Hogan now, the hair that is hanging out the back of his head is totally like sewn into his do-rag.
Okay, so not replacements. So is it extensions?
No, it is not.
Do you go out in public to make it look longer, and you add the Star Wars rat tail?
No, this is real. Yeah, it's real. It's real. It's the last little bit of hair that I've got left.
See, Nicole was on the same, and she's like, "Up, they're extensions."
I got that X-Men 191 yesterday too. I finally opened it.
They said it's your cat named Tyler.
This is the last stuff I bought. Now, what do I have coming out? What do I have coming out? It's a whole different story. I can tell you what I've got coming out this week. Coming to me. Hold on. Where is it at? Click on it here. Issues this week. Are you kidding me?
That's what I found. 1986.
1986. What'd you find from 1986? If it's good,
these are my collection. This is Garbage Pail Kids. Y'all know what these are?
Oh my god! I do.
That is Gen 1. Because somebody was mentioning the other day, like, and I know how much they're worth and stuff like that, but I do have a bunch of cards that I've been managed like to keep, and I have a mix of old and new. But like, here's a fun one for everybody.
I have a cat named Salem, a cat named Quentin, named after Quentin Tarantino.
Look, even back then.
Oh my God, they were dumping.
Even back then, they knew.
That's incredible.
They knew.
Oh my God, they were dumping on Trump back then.
Some of these are mixed in. Some of these are mixed in. Like this is the 2004.
Okay. That would
like some of these are Gen 1 and some of these are Gen 2, because that was the second time they came out with the series was in 2004.
I'm a
And they've come out with like,
Calico Cat
mm,
that's named Cammy after Cammy from Street Fighter. What is that? Coated Cody. Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
god,
and he's got a coat for its own.
so like.
There you go. This
Let's
is for
see.
Rude.
This
That's
week
Wax
I
Zach.
got Batman 115, Betty Page, Curse of the Banshee #5, Flash is coming out this week, Gun Honey. Gun Honey was good. I can't wait for that. That
Gun
issue
Honey
too.
was all right.
Mm-hmm.
There's my
Nightwing
card.
85, the J. Scott Campbell variant. Shazam issue 4. It's like a 4-issue miniseries. It's the last one out of it. It's all right. I don't know if I'm gonna.
Yes, I like Shazam.
I mean, it's not bad. I literally was like, I'm gonna get this and see if I like Shazam, and I'm like, yeah, it's not bad, but I don't know if I want to go collect all. Maybe I need to read the older stuff. Maybe the older stuff is better than this stuff. Who knows?
All Shazam has been good. Actually, I haven't read a series of Shazam that was bad.
Well, that's horrible and good to know at the same time. Suicide Shark King, Suicide Squad King Shark,
Number
uh,
2.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 122. I got the variant for that too, the 1 in 10 variant. I think, yeah, it looks pretty cool. And then Thor Thor #18. X-Men Trial of Magneto #3, which didn't bad, I guess. I mean, it's keeping me entertained. It's not like, I haven't got to a point yet where I'm like, this is stupid. This would never happen. This is not how this would go.
Mm.
I mean, it's kind of Magneto-ish, and you still don't know who's done it. And then Exo Man of War, which I've still yet to figure out if I'm gonna like that.
Thanks.
And that's what I
Exo
got.
Manowar. I have never read Exo Manowar, even from back in the day.
I read it as a kid, and I liked it then. Rude is just now getting back. He just got home from work, and he's like, "You guys are still
Yes.
going? Hell yeah!" Man, I've almost gotten Garbage Pail Kids a few times, and I really don't want to start down that hole.
I remember Wacky Packs and Garbage. I love trading cards. So, and we don't. I mean, now because the whole trading card fiasco, they stopped selling a bunch of them down here. Now, all I can find, which is very ironic, because but I can find tons of NHL cards everywhere. But um, we don't even have hockey here. Like our nearest hockey team is in Dallas. We have a minor. We used to have a minor team that was like the Houston Arrows or whatever, but I don't even know if we still have them.
We have a minor league team here, and then we have the North Carolina has the what Carolina Hurricanes or whatever it is, Canes. They've won a few championships.
Yeah, that's
Who is
Tomb
that?
Raider.
Oh my god! So this is a 2004 series. Because I'm about to say, back in the day, they didn't do the whole pop culture thing, did it?
No, well, they did back then too, because some of these are like right here. This is one, but it's just the references are different. Because Foul Fernando is in Generation A, and they were just making fun of like football in general. This one, okay, okay. This one, Picky Ricky, they were making fun of like Mozart and Beethoven. All right, so let's see. Oh, here you go. It's from most of us stoners. Bob Gnarly, Bob Gnarly, Jamon.
Oh my god, that's so good.
And there's the real Ken. It's broken. All right, let's see. Now I got some Star Wars stuff. Like there's pod racers in hologram form. Meow. These are actually trading cards, like the games Star Wars.
They were trading. They were like, there was a Star Wars game.
Oh, they've had tons of them. I think because look right here, I can show you. Like there's one game they had, and this was called Young Jedi. They had this one, and this one got released a whole bunch of times, but this is just Star Wars trading card game, and they had one that originally started, I think, early 90s or late 80s, and it went a little while, but then they kind of like updated the card, because the back of those cards look different than these, because these are like maybe like 10th or 11th generation. Yeah, I don't know. But
Yeah.
that game was around for a while.
I remember back when I was a kid, they started putting out these baseball cards,
Jenga.
and they weren't just regular baseball cards. They were like it was a trading card game you played with baseball cards where it had players on it. And I remember as a kid being like, "This is so stupid. Why would anybody do this?" And then years later, like fantasy sports blows up, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is the same thing except without trading cards. It's just you write everything down." Since
I don't
everybody,
remember that. I love these right here. Watch.
oh my god, it changes. That's kind of ironic.
Bro, look. They're so dope. Regular. I don't even know if I can get these ones to show up, but these are regular hologram.
What is that? What is that,
It's a
clone
clone
trooper?
trooper, but I don't know if I can get him to
Yeah, that's a
because
guy
he's like a full 3D.
trying to trying to hit an
I
angle.
have
I
like
can
I
see it.
have that one. And I have a Yoda, but trying to get him to show. I mean, the hologram is because it's a 3D hologram. It's like one of those that has a background and he's in the front.
Public Journey said, "I want them to reprint all the Garbage Pail Kid cards so we all can have a chance to get them without having to sell a kidney."
Right? Because I mean, the ones that I have, I think each card is like 50 to $100 just
Are
for
you
one card.
serious?
Oh yeah. The whole
Shit.
set I got is one of the most expensive things I have because I do have full sets of stuff. But like the original garbage pails, that's something I've held on forever because it's just increasing value. Like I have like a this right here is just one set I have, but this is like I was just showing you the holograms from this, but this is mine. I put like little stickers so I know what set it is, but this is my Star Wars like Revenge of the Sith trading card set, and like how I collect cards is I even keep the packages that I got like specials out of. So I remember what the trading cards look like, but no, I have like the whole fucking
Oh
like
my god.
set from Revenge of the Sith. I have every hologram that because I went nuts, but I kept buying packs so I could get all the holograms. And this set specifically, they went to town with their holograms. They had like tattoos, they had like metal stickers, they had like the metal stickers are so dope. But I know some people in the chats are Darth Vader fans, but those are metal right there.
Oh my
Like
god.
those five cards at the bottom, and they're embossed.
I
They
remember when
pop
stuff
out of the
like that came
card.
out, like they had holographic cards that looked all crazy with baseball cards for a while, and then they started coming out with like actual metal cards and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, and they started doing them with everything.
Cause
I
look,
need
it's
this
like
Thor book that I'm reading.
it like pops out of the card, and it's so cool.
I'm liking the story so far, but this artwork, I like old Thor, but when he draws young Thor, I don't know if I like it or not, but I'm kind of not liking the way he draws young Thor.
What was the whole Donald Blake stuff?
Yeah, and this is like the whole, okay, this is him trying to be worthy as a young man, and I was like, dude, he's been trying to be worthy about that hammer for
There you go.
like, is he worthy or not? Shut up about it. Like, give the man a different, like, give him a villain. Like, but I did just miss the whole Black Winter thing. Oh my god,
It's
you got
like a
everybody.
this is a the connecting hologram set that like he needed all the. I actually have two sets of it there. But then they even had stickers. Like, bro, they had that's the stickers that are on the cover. But I had so many, that's where those stickers came from. There's another medal. This is from Star Wars Gallet or Star Wars Finest, I think it is. That's another metal card. The metal cards are they're kind of dumb because when you get a metal card, you can feel it in the pack. They're like so much more heavier than a regular pack.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's got to weigh more. It has to.
Mhm.
It has.
Um, yeah, see, this was that whole like the trading card game that it either had that Obi-Wan or it had the Darth Maul, but that was that young Jedi trading card game. I buy. I've mentioned this before, but I buy tons of board games and trading card. Like I have a huge Magic collection. I have
Yeah.
like a huge Pokemon collection. Like I had some of them, but I had like
I've been playing Pokemon Red on my phone on an emulator, and I'm honestly thinking about trying to go back and get like all the OG, like all the trading cards.
the
I
games.
remember when I was younger, I think I was like 13, so I was like right when I was going into high school was when Pokemon hit big over here, and so
Mhm.
I kind of didn't want to get into it because I was like, man, like video games are way cooler. That's more acceptable in high school. I don't want to be like playing some kid game or whatever. But I did go to a the movie premiere when they did the first Pokemon movie, and we got a Mew card for going to
Mhm.
the movie.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
wished I would have kept that damn card because I bet you that thing's worth a fortune now.
It is. Have you looked up how much Pokemon's worth?
Well, I haven't looked up Pokemon cards. Like I just for some reason I was playing the game today and I was like, you know what? I might start
Yeah,
trying
you
to.
ain't gonna be able to get those Gen 1s. Like even the common cards are worth like it's the same thing in Magic. If you go back and look at all the Gen 1 cards, they're all worth like thousands of dollars, like a card, not even a set. I mean, we're talking about a specific card. I think if you have like a 9/8 Charizard, I think recently it sold for like $100,000. Fool, you're not gonna be able to get a bunch of them cards. Like like I used to have the
Oh my
this
god!
this is I was talking about earlier, but this is the original Star Wars trading card game right here. But that's how the front of the card looked, and it just had like a picture of the movie, and then it had like a little script, and then
Yeah,
like, but this is what the back looked like, and that was like how the game looked for like, I want to say like 10 years or something like that, and then they upgraded it to that other way, this way, but then it went from like that to that. But this card game right here was it was so dope because like back then in the 90s, they really didn't have anything else, you know. I mean, the Star Wars merchandise thing hadn't really taken off. You had toys, you had some,
shoot, I
maybe
remember
shirts.
when I was like, what was it, 9 or 10? They came out with the VHS box set, and everything re-exploded. Then I remember everything was Star Wars for a good few years, and then
Yeah, I mean,
it seems like
they
Star
had a
Wars
lot.
since the '90s. Every once in a while, it'll start to die down, and as soon as it does, they'll introduce a new thing.
Hmm. That's awesome. They had those like borders and stuff. It always looked cool, like a vehicle. But to this day, I have no idea. It's one of the trading card games I've never like all the Star Wars games. I have a ton of them. I've never figured out how to play them. Um, like Magic and Pokemon, I've done tournaments and I've won money off of Magic and Pokemon. But Star Wars, I've never. I met one guy that was like, "Yeah, bro, I know how to play that Star Wars trading game." You know what I mean? And I had a whole bunch, so we started out playing. Oh, he couldn't teach me for shit. He know how to play. I think he was
Yeah.
making up his crap. Shayna's here? What? Hey, Shayna.
So I know a buddy of mine.
Free
He
energy.
played Magic, and he went to Walmart when I was living with my last set of roommates. I went to Walmart. He went to Walmart. And he bought like 5 packs of Magic the Gathering. Came home, was opening up, and he was like, "Huh, that's cool." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "I already have this card." He was like, "I'm gonna sell this, and it's worth like 150 bucks." I was like, "What?" Oh, those are the old school like cards, like what are those tops or something like that? Like wait,
Yeah, tops.
yeah. I remember those.
1987.
Mm-hmm.
I still have some, and then
What's up,
I
Sheena? Sheena.
I have like some newer ones that they did, like that they came out all shiny, but they kind of did like a retro. But
Yeah.
this was
Baseball cards that I used to collect baseball cards, and I'm kind of
that's
I wish I could.
2001 right there.
I have no clue. I'm assuming my parents sold them. I don't think they would throw like to me. My parents would probably be like, "Hey, this has got to be worth something. Let's try and sell these versus throwing them away." So
My
there's no
mom,
reason what ended up happening
my,
to them. Probably some card shop, like a baseball card shop in Greenville or somewhere.
okay, we were talking about that earlier, right? With we mentioned earlier, listening to promiscuous time tablet, Kyle's
Yeah,
chat,
say
right?
his name 5 times fast.
Promiscuous time traveler, right? Okay, so we were listening to his chat, and there's one thing I can say I don't agree with because he was talking about, and everybody is different. I know this because I had friends. I didn't meet anybody like me until I saw the 40-year-old virgin. Honestly, when I was like 6 or 7, I used to have certain toys that I kept up on the wall, and I had certain toys that I played with.
Yeah,
I got in trouble by my stepmother, like where she threw a fit because she was like, I bought all these Christmas presents and you're just sticking them and putting them on the wall. I bought them, for you to play with. And I was all like, I mean, what? First off, I was like, what's the difference? I mean, I play with them, they destroy. I'm never gonna see them again. Or look, I still got that present that you gave me like 3 years ago. I had a different outlook, so I had been sticking toys on my walls, forever. And I mean, not only did I get in trouble for it, I've had people call me weird, but now as a grown adult, bro, you walk into my house, anybody walks into my house, they like freak the flip out. Like it's not only like some kind of cool museum or I've never met a person walk into my apartment and not be blown away just in the first hallway. And I'm like, yeah, just wait until you get to the back because there's a lot of stuff. Like I mentioned, I have ceilings full of posters, and that's how much space I don't have. There's something else. This is another Star Wars game that they try to do, and this one was actually with miniatures because these are the actual like spec cards that would have came
Yeah,
with
they did
this.
stuff like that with baseball cards too, and I was like literally like, why would anybody play a baseball card game? You just go play
They had a
baseball.
They had a football one because I had some of those with the football thing
Yeah,
because I'm not a sports person. So, I mean, it was kind of fun on that end, like because I wasn't into sports and I was like, hey, you could play football in it, but it wasn't that fun. Just some different versions, like a Mandalorian that's not a Mandalorian.
Uzumaki said, "All right, let's look at this." Uzumaki says, "There used to be no white in my house. Collages, posters,
Posters.
yellow figures, cards pinned to with thumbtacks, magazine clippings. Yeah, dude. And I like honestly, that's there's a guy on YouTube that his name is Strange Life. Captain Strange Life is his YouTube handle. You go to his like room tour that he did years ago because somebody put up a contest and they're like, show your comic book room. His is like a two-parter, and each part's an hour and a half. And it's basically like the downstairs, like he's got a house, and the basement with his like sanctuary or whatever. Dude, there
Hmm.
is things everywhere. There's cards, posters,
You ever
like
seen Kenny's? You ever seen Kenny's Cap on Comics?
do what?
Do you know Cap on Comics?
No, this is not that Cap. This guy is Captain Strangelove.
No, no, no. I know that, but do you know Cap on Comics? Have you
Has he ever
seen his?
that? I met him for the first time the other day. I watched a live chat with him. So
Because
I want
he's got a real museum in his house that he
to, yeah,
it's actually like sanctioned as a
I just came
museum.
across him like yesterday, I think.
All
Yesterday was
right.
the time encounter is Captain
So,
Comic. But yeah, I'm telling you, dude, like
yeah,
that's the
show
way
my little
I can already see it now. That's the way my house is gonna end up looking. It's just no turning back.
Gandalf,
Like, I might sell
Puffy,
stuff, but I'm just gonna sell
Molly.
stuff to buy more stuff. That's just yeah.
We
Like
got
once I start,
Joseph.
I'm gonna try to get back the Megatron figure I had as a child. It was when Megatron turned into a tank. It's like a green and purple figure, and I seen one on eBay for like. There's a few of them for like $20 to $40.
Can you even see all these? No, you can't see
Yeah,
it.
I can see them. Well, it's lagging a little.
Hold on, because I'm moving.
I was about to say you're
Because
shaking.
I got a lot. I do have a lot of Lego. I don't think I've ever even mentioned this, but yeah, I have a lot of Lego. I
You got a
have
lot.
like a Robin, I got Jokers, I got Wonder Woman, I got a black Commissioner Gordon, I got a white Commissioner Gordon, I got a girl Commissioner Gordon,
Oh my
I got
god.
Batman's galore. Look at that Batman. I got Batman, I got Batman. Look, I got heavy metal Batman right there.
Is
Got
that
some can.
is that Kiss?
No, that's Batman.
That's Batman. Oh, that's Death Metal Batman or whatever.
Yeah. Look, I got Batman from the movie with the lobster.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, I got Pink Philly. There's your woke right there. Look, that's Batman. Look, I got King Tut. Bro, you need King Tut.
Do what?
I got look, we're talking about some Batman villains that you never seen. The calculator fool. Hello.
Hello.
Right here. Jimmy Bunny. Ah. The Dazzler. Well, there's some weird stuff out there. King Zodiac. There's tons of Batman films that they do not use anymore.
and yet they keep coming out with new ones.
Yep, I'm cool with that. It's like people complain about that. Why? Like, bro, I mean, isn't it the real world? Don't new villains and new heroes pop up every day?
Like, yeah, it would have to go that way. You can't have everybody being the same. Like, look, villains are gonna die. Somebody's gonna kill them, whether it's an accident, whether on purpose. You know, heroes are gonna die. That's what I loved about the first episode, like that first little mini thing of Invincible that I watched. I was like, holy crap, this is what superhero comics should be like. This is 100% it. Like, if it was real life, this is the way it would go. It's exactly it. People like, crushing people's heads, and like that's the way this stuff would go. Because you're gonna have those guys. You're not gonna have a whole bunch of people who are like, well, since this child murderer is a human being, I'll spare his life. No, they would just kill him. They wouldn't let the cops take him to jail. They would just murder him.
No.
You'd be like, oh, I died saving my own life. It's exactly the way people would do it. And there would be that one time it would tug at somebody's heartstrings, and they would not be able to help themselves. I will show you, I think, the rarest thing in my collection, period.
Trouble!
Rarest, 100% rare. Where is this? This is a yearbook. That's yearbook 2. Why is it 2?
It's random. It's Milky Anakin.
It's here. The rarest thing in my collection is... Where's it at? Oh, God. Now I can't find it. I say that, now I can't find it at all.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. There it is. This is the rarest thing in my collection.
What the hell is that?
This is the program for SC Comic-Con 2015 in Greenville, South Carolina, put on by Borderland Comics. And
why is it the most expensive thing? It's all signed up or something?
It's not the most expensive thing, it's the rarest thing in my collection.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know, yes, somebody might have kept the program from SC Comic-Con. I'm not doubting that. But I went around, and every artist who did artwork in this thing, Andy Root did the cover. He does a cover called Alley. I got him to sign it. Everybody who did artwork in here. This guy's name is Alan Bellman. Alan Bellman was a Golden Age Captain America artist. He died like a year or two after he signed this. So I got him to sign this. The Dark Ages cover that just came out, there's Sanford Green, whoever that is. Got him to sign his little print thing that he did.
Squiggly lines.
Yeah. That's Megan Hetrick, who just did the Dark Ages cover. I got her to sign Kitty Pryde.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's her Kitty Pryde. I also have a Thor. She did a Thor. She had Thor. Let's see, Joey Wiesner or whatever his name is. Got him to sign his little. Yeah. So I went around to every time I came across a creator who had put artwork in this, I got them to sign it. And I don't think anybody else took the time to take one of these, keep up with it, not destroy it, and get everybody to sign it. And then ever since,
I've never done that. I've been to a bunch of cons. I don't even think I've seen a program when I went to the con. I don't even know where they would hand them out and stuff. And we have some big ones here, but I don't think I've ever seen a...
To me, it only made sense. I was like, I've never seen people show programs from cons before. Everybody would go to Emerald City or, Dragon Con or all these crazy huge cons, and I never see anybody bring home something like a program or this is a layout of where all the tables are at. So you can plan out your days, all kinds of stuff. It just I guess I'll do digital now, but that's the rarest thing in my collection is that. And as far as I know, that's one of one right there. One of one. All right, well, that's pretty much it. That's all I've got. I just wanted to do my review thing, and I definitely like hanging out with you. So now the only thing I've got left to do is put my books up.
Now you pull them all out. That's the funnest part of YouTube, man.
What I do is that first box. It says pull list current reads. when my books come in, I just put them in there, standing up, just up at the front. And then every day I just grab 2 and I read them. And so when I put them back, I put them back in order of how much I like whichever ones I read, and I just do that until I'm out of new books. And then usually, like tomorrow, my new books are shipping, so they'll be here by this weekend. So then I just have to read back issues for a few days, and then I'll start reading older stuff that I like. And that's just the way I do it. It's all organized and neat and crazy. It probably means I'm a serial killer or something crazy. I don't know.
Maybe. Nothing wrong with that.
Everything has its place.
Just stay on your side of North Carolina or South Carolina. We'll be okay, you know. Or at least I will be.
Yeah.
What else you got coming up, buddy? You know, do your little promo.
I don't think I have anything coming up. I haven't talked to Sith, so I don't know about Spine Tick Saturday, but more than likely, if he's got a spot, I'll be there. Even if he doesn't have a spot originally, if somebody drops off, I'll jump in.
As far as I know, it's a regular show, but we're missing Phil.
I'll have a haul video on probably Saturday too, because some of my books come in. And then I might do something else. Like every weekend I do a little something, whether it's like a hangout or I don't know. I've been pretty busy ever since last weekend. Last weekend I've done a live stream pretty much every night. Nude books. Actually, I think some of them do have some nudity on the covers.
I do. I've seen nudity books.
Sometimes only nudity will do.
I watched okay, here's a little preview. So every week on Spine Ticks, right? Tylux does not know this, but everybody on the panel that's on, you know, we have 2 watch parties, right? We have 2 assignments where we're supposed to watch the Terror Tick movie of the week, and we are supposed to watch the Hallmark movie. Well, we usually watch the Hallmark movie as a group because most of us have significant others, so it's kind of like a date night type of thing. And usually it's like me, Rude, Dave, Roscoe, Phil. I think the only one that's usually absent from that is usually Sith, but he's usually busy with Lady Sith. But I think they've already seen most of these anyways. I think Lady Sith is a big Hallmark fan, but Sith is too. You know, Phil's absent this week, so we did not have a watch party this week. It would actually be today if we did the watch party, but we're not going to do it. But I did watch the Terror Tick movie last night, and there will be a lot of big birds in that movie. Y'all can watch this movie too because it's on YouTube. It's a free YouTube movie.
What's it called?
And I don't even know how they get away with this on YouTube because there is a boob drop like every other second in this movie. I was like, what the heck am I watching? Is this a porno or a horror movie? No, but it was actually good. It's called The Virgin Witch, I think it's called. 1972.
Well,
and that will be.
If it has the word virgin in the title and it's a B movie, then it's probably going to be a whole bunch of nudity involved.
Well, I mean, I've seen a good stash of you know, I'm generally the kind of the B-rated horror fan. You know, I've seen all the iterations of Sharknado and Human Centipede and actually Human Centipede is some of my favorite horror. It's some of my favorite horror to recommend to people because of how disturbing it is.
Read what he
Says, you know what you guys are missing on Spine Ticks? Some comic journey action. Well, if you'd like to stay up any given Saturday, boy, I could get you on that show, Nick. Come on.
Man, all we have to do is message Sith. Sith's usually.
And you don't need your face. You know, you could do your hands. You know, and that's just as fun too.
Oh my God, dude! Did you see what Nicole wrote during the live stream between me, you, and Comic Journey?
I don't know. You give me a right because I read a.
I want one for the Superman movie for the guy to go up and away. I mean, you.
Oh yeah.
And Nicole said he said up and away they went.
Yeah, we took off. And I had gunshots going off, man.
Oh my God, I'm still thinking.
I don't like to display that I'm in the ghetto that easily, but there was like, I mean, I don't know what was going on. It was action packed. Like since I've been on the live stream, my phone, I've gotten like 8 or 9 phone calls. I don't know who the hell is calling me. Like I don't know why. Like something's going down in the real world that I'm not aware of.
But yeah, that's so great. You were dodging bullets, and I was like running to go throw something in the next room.
Up and away. Yeah, we took off.
I watched it back later. Comic Journey's hands just went, "Where did you guys go?" And I was like, "Oh, that made it even better."
Well, I was watching and listening. I just didn't want the vision because I was like looking out the window and every room in my apartment has those blackout, because I stay up late at night. So I mean, the sun does affect me differently than regular people. Like when I go outside, I have to wear sunglasses or I'm blind.
Yeah,
Um, it hurts. I say this, but in all joking manner, it's not a joke. I am a vampire. Like I follow those rules religiously. Like like if you would like Evil Mike to show up, I don't just show up unannounced. I have to be invited. I do follow certain rules that are very closely to vampires. I don't
yeah.
wake up before the sunrise. That kind of stuff.
I mean, Evil Mike, Evil's comics. I mean,
Kind of. I mean,
kind of a thing. Actually, I have a book. I'll send you a text message of a book I have, which you might also have or have read, more than likely have read, that I have that I don't want to put on
maybe.
you.
Hey, you were talking about Deathlock. Are you talking about Marvel's Deathlock, or are you talking about something else?
Oh, Death Clock, the band. What is
I
it?
thought you were talking about Deathlock. See, I
Yeah,
don't have that. I have
I have,
Marvel's Deathlock.
I have to quit being lazy and sew, but I even have a patch that goes on my vest.
Hmm.
I gotta put on. But yeah,
No, I don't have that
they
comic.
had a comic that came out. All I've seen is 3 issues, so I'm assuming it was like they did 3 issues and they were just like, we're done with this. And then they also had a one shot that was like it was Death Clock versus the Goon, and I
Mm.
really really want to get that, but that's
I've
very
never
hard to
see.
find
There's
too.
so many books I've always wanted to read. I've never got a chance to. But Bone by Jeff Smith. I've always wanted to read Bone. I've always loved the way it looked. I've never got a chance to. Um, The Goon is another one I've always wanted to read. I've never got a chance to. Spawn. I have like I want to say I have like issues 2 through. I might have like I can actually go look, but I don't have a lot. But that's why I've never. Yeah, Bone. I've never gotten to read it. I've always wanted to. I've always loved the
Say
way
this:
Bone looked.
if you get the original version, the comics they're black and white,
Hmm.
but
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
movies it's got color in it. So
See, I'm not bothered by black and white. I
I
usually with black and white comics, you can see more of the detail, the penciling and the inking, and I kind of enjoy that. I'm not gonna say I'd like to read all my comics in black and white, but
some of them do.
hey,
I
Colton
like the,
Yates, you got.
when they came back out with what is it? The Walking Dead, the new deluxe. It's in color,
Hmm.
right? Assuming.
Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
like Walking Dead black and white. Yeah, I think it was made to be written that way. That's just me though.
No, I didn't even know. I mean, there's so many comics that I didn't know they were out there. That's like somebody was talking about Talisman from Stephen King the other day, and believe it or not, they did come out with a Talisman comic book, even though no one's ever heard of that book from Stephen King. It's one of my favorites, but like that, if somebody can find Talisman, the comics, first off, you immediately reach out to me and you buy them and you send them to me because there are going to be some huge spec play coming up because there's a Talisman movie and a TV show coming, and he wrote 2 books from that series. So
Man, everything whatsoever is getting optioned. Um, I actually had a thought today about doing something really stupid and really expensive, and I think you should
what?
talk me into it. So I'm wanting to get into Daredevil, right?
Hmm.
So of course, what should be the first Daredevil that I read if I'm going to get into Daredevil? Read Daredevil. Frank Miller's run. So I'm thinking about going and starting at 158 and just buying every issue in Frank Miller's run until I get his whole arc done, read it, and then get me into Daredevil. And then that way I can stupidly start buying everything else Daredevil.
Daredevil's not that hard to get into as long as you stay away from anything before 2015, because that's where it started getting. Because that's when he moved to San Francisco, and it became like a whole different thing.
Yeah,
But because I've actually read quite a bit of Daredevil, but not all the way through. But Daredevil's kind of nice because as long as you pick up like an issue, it's like every 3 issues they would change an arc. So pretty. It's kind of like how they did Spider-Man back in the 90s and
yeah,
2000s.
yeah. But yeah, I'm thinking about getting into Daredevil. I'm thinking about doing it that way. That way I can read what everybody says is the best run. But at the same time, all those books are really expensive. So that would be, yeah.
I like that run for other reasons because I like Bullseye and I think he's a wonderful villain and he's very predominant. I mean, that's the whole like Electro Nachos and then
Actually, one of the good stories that was in this book is a Bullseye story.
mm,
Him and Bullseye are going after the same thing, but
hmm
he keeps bringing up the fact that he has a healing factor, and eventually Bullseye's like, "Is that all you talk about?" And then the reason that Deadpool wins at the end is because he has a healing factor. They are
yeah,
covered. They are covered in monkey feces, and so Bullseye starts vomiting violently and getting ill, getting sick to his stomach because he's covered in monkey poop. And Deadpool just kind of brushes it off. He's like, "Yeah, can't, yeah, no germs, no, yeah, healing factor."
no bacteria. Yeah.
He's like, "You know that thing you kept complaining that I have? Well, that's what's saving me right now. That's why you're dying." And I was just like,
Yep.
that's hilarious.
Hey, look, Free Energy's asking you something. He said, "Did you say you needed the Deathlock versus Goon tie?" He does. He's looking for it.
Yes, I
He's
do.
looking for anything from
Very much,
Deathlock.
I'm very much interested in that book. I put it on my Instagram. If you guys have any Death Clock comics that you do not want, that you would like to get rid of, or if you have
Or
any
maybe would like to trade
right
or,
across the wild, if you would not mind picking them up, I'll totally reimburse you for them or buy them from you or something. We'll work something out. Uh, I'm not asking for handouts. I'm just asking for help finding things because around here sucks. Like I'm actually probably going to go this weekend and go digging at the 4 stores I have around me, but I guarantee you I'm not going to find either one of those comics. If I do, I will be pleasantly shocked. But I'm going to go digging in dollar bins and see if I can find them. I don't know if I'm going to because I
Free
looked at
Energy said $9.
Rise from Mars was like a 3-issue miniseries, and they're wanting at least $15, $20 an issue on eBay for each one of them. And I think that's just because people my age watch the show,
It's
love it.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
That's why I got I got from that AOK that dark the Pirates of Darkwater. It's from that same series because they were
Yes.
doing they were taking like 80s and 90s cartoons and making them into comics. They did it with a bunch. There's a Street Sharks. That's when we got Gargoyle. That's when we got Darkwing Duck. There's a lot of those.
I also wanted to pick up that apparently, I did not know this, but Bernie Wrightson, there was a Gargoyle comic, and Bernie Wrightson did the artwork for it, and I'm kind of looking for that too. But you can find that relatively cheap. Like you can find that like there was a lot on eBay that I looked at. It was like $15, and it was like $5 in shipping for like one
The
through 4.
Disney Gargoyles?
Let me look. I'm thinking it. I'm thinking it was. I think this was what started it because this came out in '85. And then there was the Disney show. And I was like, well, why did it take so long? I mean, maybe let's see if I can find this on my watch list.
Do you know how to share?
I do not. I'm pretty sure I just hit the share button to share my screen.
Yeah, I think so. I think
We're
you
about to
click
find out.
yourself
I'm gonna attempt this.
or
Um,
test and stuff.
Let me see if I can go ahead and get to it. If I can even find it, I don't know if it's still for sale. Because if I can't find it on here, I might as well not flip my screen around. Where is it? Whoa. That's not what I wanted to do.
Hey, what is he? SSG and Nicole talking about? Hold on.
I have no idea. Let me see.
All right, call from brother. We didn't know they existed. Tylox, come to NC. I bet money you'd find what you want. Don't come here without calling first. There's a billion stores. I'll meet you at the border.
Well, funnily enough, if you guys are near the Greensboro area, my local comic shop is Atomic Empire. It's in Greensboro. They also do online though,
Mm-hmm.
and
I've shot from Atomic.
I'm gonna do a video soon about Atomic Empire's website and show everybody how it's set up because you can literally cherry pick. You can pick any cover that you want. The only difference is like the incentive covers, instead of them being priced like $40 or whatever stupid, comic book stores sometimes price them for stupid amounts. Um, with Atomic Empire, you bid on those. Those are like an auction thing, and whoever the highest bidder is gets the incentive cover. But usually, the people who win those things are like it's $12 for incentive covers when it would normally be like 40 or 60 or something stupid like that. So
Usamaki says you need to go outside and throw a baseball. He says y'all live that close. He'll see it.
No, there's no way because you live in north and I live in south. So if I threw a baseball, it probably wouldn't hit your house if you live in North Carolina. But let me see if I can find these books real quick. Let's see.
See if you can share it. Let's test that out.
We're going to active only. See if I can find it. Should be on this page right here. I don't want to be like rude and share the wrong thing. What do you guys see, bro?
Pornhub.
Oh my god.
It's all right. We're grown men. They know what we're looking at. No surprises.
Actually, I think it's sold. It's either sold or it's down.
Well,
Yep.
it's gone now. See, wasn't I talking about that earlier? You fucked up, bro.
Should have bought it. Should have bought it because probably never
Especially
find
if it was like $9 or something.
it. It was like $15 for like 4 issues. It said Gargoyles and it was written by Bernie Wrightson. It was drawn by Bernie Wrightson. So I'm assuming it was the
Like
same.
even, like even Roots saw the reference, and he's like, "What you watching, bro?"
Kylo's got to be so serious. No, I mean I know you guys are saying that we live close. Um, no, like I live in South Carolina, but my books are shipped from North Carolina. So if y'all live near Atomic Empire, y'all do not live close to me.
Well, I live in Texas, but I get my books from Texas. So.
Real rude laughing about us picking on him because Elman, what are you watching? What are you guys watching?
I was in that chat. That was funny as
Oh
fuck
my
that
god!
night.
Oh my god! I die every time I see
Because
it.
that happened on Rude's channel. That was like it was like me. It was like I forget who was all on with Rude. It was like Rude, Dave, and Roscoe, and it was me, Phil, and like maybe two other people that were in the chats. Because not, I mean, Rude's got a very small channel, right? So that night when he was pulling that up and he was telling about DJ, he was like, "Who's DJ Links?" He was like, and then he pulled like that whole night. There was like actually three funny things that happened, and that was just kind of like, and I can't even remember the other two things, but there was two other funny things that happened that night during that stream. It wasn't just that's just the clip that everybody remembers, but there was some other funny stuff that happened in the beginning. Last time Rude streamed, he did the things with his kids, and it instantly got banned. Like Rude's trying stuff, man. He's breaking barriers.
You mean Rude's being controversial? No.
Comic Journey says you're watching cat porn. Could be. It's
Could
a
be.
new going trend.
Mm,
Usamaki says it'd be like an hour, and to me, an hour is close.
yeah. I was watching cat porn.
Hour and plus for everything.
What are you doing? What are
See
you
here
doing?
we don't, man. 10 minutes in Houston is far. 20 minutes, I mean, but
Oh
that
yeah, that's because you see our 10 minutes is like the next town. Like if I drive
yeah.
10
See,
minutes to another town, if you
you don't
drive 10
get
minutes, you're on another block. Like
Yeah, you don't get anywhere. I mean, literally, like to drive around all of Houston right now. I think it increased, but the last time I checked, to drive the whole border is like 24 hours. I mean, it's ridiculous. But like, I mean, literally, like if I go, because I live in like northwest Houston, but if I go like southwest, that's like an hour journey just to get to the other side of Houston, and it's straightforward. We don't have that stop standstill traffic stuff. We have traffic. It's just more
oh
congestion.
wow. Okay. If you can get to Columbia, which is what I'm assuming you were typing, you can get to Columbia in an hour and a half. You do live near me. Well, you could live, I mean, because there's infinite different directions, but if you were to take a pencil, I guess, and draw from his house to my house, if you were to draw a circle that's an hour and a half
Mhm.
around Columbia, we would be definitely in that circle, but he could be anywhere.
Actually, free energy said 4 hours. I get to Dallas about like 3.5, I think, because I'm at the north end of Houston, so it's not that far. I haven't been to Dallas in like 20 years. I've been
Yeah,
to San
like
Antonio more than I've been to
put it this
Dallas.
way, yeah, I drive like 20 minutes every day back and forth to work, and that's in like a whole nother, like that's almost taking me to another county.
See, that's when I hear y'all sad stories about y'all's like LCS problems. Like, bro, I go that direction in 10 minutes, there's a comic shop. I go that direction, 10 minutes, there's a comic shop. I go that direction, there's like two comic shops in 10 minutes. Like that literally in Houston, there's like I think right now there's 67 different comic shops. And on IG today I saw that four more were opening up.
Oh
So I
my
mean
god,
And it's
Look,
funny because this one comic shop that's opening up, it's literally the size of my bedroom. I was like, what are y'all gonna have in there? Just like the new issues and that's it?
let's see. We've got Borderlands, which is like an hour away from me, and then we've got Richards, which is the shop that I used to use, which is like an hour away. And then we've got there's a Second and Charles, which is like 50 minutes away from me, and they sell comics, and you do find good stuff in there. I bought like the first Bishop in there for like $2 one day,
Mm.
and it was like not a bad copy at all. I was like, why is this $2? I'll buy this all day long for $2. And so yeah, there's Second Charles, but I haven't been there in a long time. And then there's
And I've
another
heard of Second Charles.
store that's like 45 minutes away, so it's like 5 minutes closer to Second Charles, and it's called Planet Comics, and I think their logo is kind of like the Planet Express ship or whatever. And yeah, they're like 45 minutes away. Like that's it for comic books. If I want comic books the other direction, I have to go towards South Paul Brad's neck of the woods in
I know
Columbia,
it is too.
an hour and a half
Yeah.
away. So yeah,
No,
it's horrible,
I
man. Like, I need
I
to
can
get a
say
deal.
for me here in Houston, like we have big ones and then we have small ones. Like the one I do my main LCS pull at, that's one of our big ones because they had that, Free Energy will know, but Bedrock City is like our bigger one, but it's not the biggest one in Houston. The biggest one in Houston is actually called Third Planet, and it's literally like in downtown, and it's like, or it's near downtown, but it's literally like this blue green building in the middle of like, regular colored skyscrapers. It looks so weird. It's been
Mm.
there for like 40, 50 years. I don't know. It's been there forever.
The
It's
one
ex it's
I
expensive
used
though.
to go to, the one that had my full list, and that's where I bought all my books from, was the smallest one. I picked a small little, like, this dude owns it. He runs it. He's been running it for like 20 something years. He might have three other employees, and most of them are either 18, 19-year olds who this is like their first real job or whatever, and they're really into comics, so they want to work at a comic book store. Or I think he has every once in a while somebody that's older that'll come in and work and stuff like that. But that's the one I went to, and it's right next to the big one where they have like gaming tables and people playing D&D and
Mm.
Monster and Magic and all kinds of other stuff like that. And they have tons of back issues, and they have wall books everywhere, and stuff like that. It's the big store. I'd rather go to the small little hole in the wall, because if I buy if I buy my pull list there and he sees me all the time there buying back issues, then if he does have anything really, really expensive and really, really good, more times out of 10, he's been like, he'll cut you really good deals because you go there all the time. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I would go there and get a stack of books like this. And since he gave me a discount on back issues as well as new stuff, I would just use whatever that is. I would never come in there and buy like a huge stack of books and be like, how about we talk, get down to blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. I would just buy it. And then if I wanted something big, then I would come in there and I would haggle, because the big books aren't
Mm.
affected by his discount. You're not getting a 10% discount off that, giant size X-Men #1 or whatever it is. You're paying whatever.
Well, see, like, we'll get this, right? So I just mentioned how many, and somebody in the comics mentioned this too in the comments, but it was get it needed comics. I have three comic shops that I go, but to their back bins, but they're well picked through. Well, okay, in Houston, we have millions of people, right? And we have like 67 comic shops. And I will say here there is a weird trend where there's certain comics that are hard to find. I've never seen Goon, or you don't find Vampirella, or you don't find. I mean, there's certain comics that like a lot of people are like,
Sandman.
yeah, my back bins, I find them all the time. Like, no,
Yeah,
I like.
Sandman. You can't find Sandman in Greenville.
No,
It does not
but
exist. It's not there.
but
Um,
okay, there's millions of people, and we have a lot of comic book shops. I will tell you that comic book people are lazy, and not just the people that run the stores, but us in general. So don't think, I mean, I check my dollar bins all the time because, like, especially like my half price book. I don't know who the hell's selling off their collections, but I have found some finds like and I don't know why they're taking the half price books, but that's where I found my Spider-Man 2099 direct, was in a half price bookstore, and it was just sitting there like, bro, it is not worth like the $2 that you're selling it at.
I tell
uh,
you what you do. Like what I do, and I didn't do it this year, but I need to do it next year. I'm gonna do it next year. Is twice a year. There's free comic book day, right? And then there's what's the other one that always comes out every year?
Halloween Comic Fest.
And National Comic Book was Local Comic Book Day or whatever it is, right?
It's Free Comic Book Day, and then we have Halloween Comic Fest, and as far as I know, the only other one is Batman Day.
I was about to say there's another one too. Like there's Free Comic Book Day, and then there's some other kind of comic book day. It's like National Comic Book Day or Local Comic Book Store Day or something like that. He has those two sales. That small shop, literally, like I heard this year, and I wish I could have taken advantage of it, but I didn't plan ahead of time. He opened up his basement to the store, right? And he basically, put a couple tables in there, had some artists in there signing, and basically he walked into the basement. If it was not in a box, marked, that it was higher than $1, every book you found in there was $1. So you could literally just start digging through his whole basement
collection, finding stuff for $1.
Back issues. You could, if you had all the time in the world to stay there all day and dig, you could literally find anything you wanted. And if it wasn't marked higher than he had some boxes that were like, bronze keys, copper keys, and it was just like they were marked at whatever they were marked at. Like, those he would have to price when you brought him up to them or something like that. But
I'll tell you a story. It'll be a quick one. I'll try and sum it up. But the coolest sale I've ever come across came from the douchiest LCS that I've ever run into, right? I hated this LCS with a passion. I was forced to shop there forever because I didn't have a car. And in some parts of Houston, we do not have a bus system. So, and like you said, like trying to get from one location, it's not really walkable or bikeable, like, regular bike. So I got forced to go to this one comic book shop, and currently they're not even open. And they're the comic book shop that's about to open up that I mentioned. They're like the size of a closet that's about to open up. This dude is funny, and he makes weight. He's one of those dudes that I believe that, like, you'd go into a store and find something in the dollar bin, and you get up there, and he'd be like, "Yeah, let me check eBay." That's the type of guy this is. Okay, so because this guy was crap, I shopped there for like 10 years, and never once remember my name, like even recognize that I shop there every week, and the same pulls that you see, like 40 books a week, is what I would spend. I mean, I've been buying comic books forever, so. Most everybody that knows my channel knows the story called The Event, where I lost most of my comics, right? Well,
man, I'm glad that wasn't me, because there'd be one less person in this world, and it would be over comic books. I would have literally, I probably would have tried to track him down. Like,
I looked. Oh, trust me. And it would have been, and it would have turned into Serial Killer Mike at that time. So I would have found it. And I can tell you, I have an imagination. Like I can tell you, you don't want to piss me off because I don't go after you. I usually go after your family or somebody that's going to hurt, a lot worse. Okay, so I got imagination. No, okay. So anyway, back to that story. So after the event, right, I spent about I want to say a year where I didn't collect comics and stuff. I mean, I had nothing. So, I mean, it was that debate. Do I start this all over again, or do I start new and stuff like that?
Yeah.
The deciding factor was the sale that the LCS had. For some odd reason, he had this genius idea to have a Black Friday deal, and most of my comic book shops do a Black Friday deal where they do like a discount off or something like that on the whole store or something. But they did a deal where for, I think it was $50, you could take a long box, and anything you could fit in the long box was yours. Bro, that's what started my collection off. And they were so dumb because they hadn't gone through their books and moved any of the high-selling books out. So, like, that's how some of the keys that I do have, I was able to get in that collection. And I remember, like, because they did this stupid thing where, like, I had to go up to the register. You had to pay the $50 before. That was just for the box. But then after everything was said and done, you had to bring the box to the register and everything, which I didn't understand because everything that could fit in the box was yours. And that included, like, action figures or board game. It didn't matter. Anything you could fit in the box was yours. So I went in, I guess it was just to tally up, like, the inventory side of it. But I remember going up there and showing what I had put in the box, and it was all comics. I mean, it was like, don't know how much 500 comics or 300 comics that fit in a long box. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like
But I had the thing stuffed to the brim. I remember getting home and I was
I
like,
would
oh,
have too. I would have not left with anything other
yeah,
than.
I had stuff on the top. I had.
That box would have been bulging, man. I'd have been sticking stuff in the sides and taping it
So,
some masking tape, tape it to the top of the box, on the other side so you can stick
so
some
I
more.
remember going up there and I had like a bunch of it. I had like a $50 book in there. I had like a $20 book in there, and he couldn't say no. I had the flyer in my hand, and the look on his face was like, and he did not want to do it. And there was like people standing behind me, and they all had boxes. And it's funny because at first everybody was like picking all these like dollar books and shit, and I was in the bins like going for the expensive shit. Everybody started doing it too.
Oh my God. I was at the store one time. I was dating this girl, and I lived 15 minutes away from what was then my LCS, which was incredible. I loved it. I couldn't afford to live in that part of town now, but at the time, between the two of us, I could afford it, and I was 15 minutes away. So New Comic Book Day used to be every Tuesday. They were open at 9. And at 8:45, I was in the parking lot, like waiting for my books. I come in there every morning. And so one afternoon, I was like, you got anything planned? She was like, no. She was sitting there just reading. I was like, I'm going to go digging. And she was like, okay. And I was like, all right, bye. And I left. And I went to the comic book store, and I was digging. And I was digging through back issues. And I was like, all right, I know what I can spend. Let me find some stuff that's worth it, try to pack as much as I can into it. And for some reason, I stopped at the dollar bin, and I started going through it. And then I stopped. And then I was like, I'm not going to find anything in here I need. I found a few issues of Batman, and that was all I found that I needed for like $1. It was like 500s, And so then I started going through the back issues, and I think I started like digging through Amazing Spider-Man. This dude comes in behind me, goes straight for the dollar boxes, starts digging through. And then all of a sudden it was like me, him, there was one other person in the store, and they were digging through the silver and bronze and copper age stuff section. And we hear the dude at the dollar bin just start laughing his ass off. And we're like, we look over, and he like looks at both of us, and he's just like, oh God. And we're like, what? And he takes his stack of books, and he goes up to the counter, and he sets them down on the counter, and the person's going through it at the counter, and it was like a 19-year-old kid that worked there. He was running the counter for the owner, who was like downstairs. And he gets to a book, and he stops, and his eyes open up, and he goes, where'd you find this? And he was like, the dollar boxes. And so the kid pulls out his cell phone, and he calls the owner. He's like, you need to come upstairs. And he came upstairs. The dude found Thor 337 in the dollar bins. Mm-hmm. And it was a nice copy. It was like an 8.5, maybe a little bit better than that. It was a nice copy of Thor 337 in the dollar bins. And the owner said, and he was like, ring him up. And he was like, he found it in the dollar bins. And he was like, then ring him up. You just cost me a crap load of money. And then he turned around and he walked off and he walked downstairs. And I was like, this will instantly make this my comic book store forever. He could have been like, no, I can't sell this to you for $1. He could have flipped out on the guy who worked there. He could have fired him. He could have screamed and hollered at him. Oh my God, you just cost me how much money, this, that, and the other. And he just turned around and shrugged it off. And I was just like, well, I mean, you got to think, he's probably making money off some stuff. You win some, you lose some. And I guess he talked it up so that was one he was lost. But ever since I saw that, where he sold that 337, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna shop here for life. This is all. If I have a local comic book store, this is gonna be it for life, because nobody else would have done that. They'd have been like, no, I gotta, put this up on the wall, or I can't, I can sell it to you for this much, but I'm not gonna sell it to you for $1.
So I have two LCSs that I shop. The one, the big one, and predominantly I like shopping there for one, for convenience. It's one street away. It is the bigger avenue store, so I can get so I can get like better slew of variants, that kind of stuff. But my favorite store is actually another one that I go to, and it's a smaller LCS, like you said, a hole in the wall. Actually, the location is probably the worst thing of this, because it's literally under a freeway underpass, and it's the only building there. It's so awkward to get in because you have to get off of a freeway off this curve, and there's this little turn right there. And I mean, if you keep going, you get stuck on another major highway, but there's a little turn where you're supposed to like and it's the little mom and pop shop in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I found it one day by popping my tire, and I had to pull off the highway onto that little curve, and I was like, "Hey, there's a comic book shop." I didn't even fix my car at the time. I was like, "Hey, I'm going," and I took care of my car after I went in the LCS. That LCS is where I found Nottingham. That LCS is where I found like Never Never. That LCS is where I found Sweet Paprika. That LCS is where I found like most of the Stray Dog homage covers that I have. Like,
Yeah.
bro, that LCS is not found. Not only that, they they have like two deals that I specifically love, and if you have numerous comic shops, they usually do have different deals, you know. But this comic shop does one where they do a buy one get one free, and it's through most of their main bins, and they do their due diligence, so you're not going to find any gold in there. But they do have a slew of basement type bins that are their dollar bins, and it is literally buy three get one free, and they're all $1. But
Yeah.
That's how I got most of my Batman elsewhere like titles. I got Batman the Cult in there. I remember that taking that to the and it's like a $30 book all day long. But like I took that to the register and like it was $1, and not only that, but I had the other three. And like I didn't even want the third book. You know, I think I gave the free book to like a kid that was in line. I was like, there you go, bro. I was just so happy to get like I got that. I got Batman Dracula. I got like I think I got the first issue of Batman: The Long Halloween. Like, bro, I got some gold out of that store. And like, he's one of them guys. Like, he's not one of them guys where it's like, no, that wasn't supposed to be in there. I made a mistake. No, he honors that shit, and I know that stuff was not supposed to be in there. Like,
It was really funny because after that all went down at the counter, I immediately turned around from where I was at and started darting over for the dollar bins. And the owner, when he was walking back to the back, he turned around and he seen me. He was like, "You get back to where you were at. There's nothing else in there that's probably any good." And then I couldn't help myself. I was digging and I found like it was Batman New 52 #1, which those sell for now. I think they still can
that's what I
sell for
want.
like $100. Like every time you turn around, you can get $100
It's
off
like
of
25. It's like 25 to 50, depending on the grade. But
it.
that's
Yeah,
actually the Grail book that I want right now is Batman the New 52 #1.
well, they were up to like $100 a pop. Now at the time they were like 20, 25, something like that. And I was
Hmm.
swearing up and down I was not gonna pay that for it. I was gonna find it somewhere for like $1, get it on sale, something. And I pulled it out and I walked up front and I had it on top of my stack of books. And he had like a $20 price tag or something on it. And I slid it under there. And when I slid in my books, I was like, I found that one in the dollar bin. And he was like, "No, you did not." He like, "Bring it to the side." I was like,
Yeah,
"Well,
they
since we're playing this game, hey, I found this in the ASM 300 in that case. I found it."
right.
Like,
No, that's like my main LCS. They have stuff like that too. If I tried that there, they're in the know where they'd be like, hell no, that's not it.
but yeah,
Yeah, I could. Mm-mm. No, I've had some deals. I can tell you one of the best tips about dollar bin, like especially for those that don't want to spend the time because it's time consuming. When I dollar bin dive, it's usually like a 2 or 3 hour thing, and I'm going, my fingers move fast. I know what to look for. But like, especially if I half price books, our comic book section at my specific, well, I mean, I have a bunch of different half price books, but one of them that I go to, I mean, it's probably the size of my bedroom. It's the whole section of comics is huge. I mean, and literally, I don't know who's selling the half price books, but people sell to them all the time. I don't know why, because I know they're not getting any kind of money. They literally pay them like I think it's like 10 or 20 cents any comic. It doesn't matter what the value is. Because they're just paying for paper and the weight.
rid of bulk.
But
Pretty sure. Like nowadays, what was it? Who was it? There's Vin Crew 12,000. I don't know if you're subbed to him. Vin Crew's been on YouTube since the first time I was on YouTube, and he's got the greatest hit story I've ever heard in my entire life. He was at a antique store with his wife. His wife drug him antique store shopping, and he was hating
mhm,
it until he got up front to where the register was, and there was a glass counter, and they had
yeah, they
magazines.
had comics.
He got Hulk 181. They wanted $2 for it,
What?
and he haggled them down to $1.50, and then left with that book. and he's got a copy. And if you look up on his video, it's top 50 Marvel books. He does top 50 Marvel, top 50 DC, and top
Mhm.
50 indie. If you look up the top 50 Marvel books, he shows it in that episode. It's like an 8.0, 8.5. He found it for $1.50 at an antique store. Somebody just did not know what they had and just put it in. They're like, "Oh, it's old comic books worth $2."
It happens. I mean, because I got first appearance of Cosmic Spider was a quarter. First appearance of Puma was a quarter. First appearance of Craven the Hunter, a quarter. Like, bro, and they're not even dollar bins. They were in the quarter bins. Like they were throwaway comics. And then these they're not even ripped or anything. Like he just mentioned this right here. I was reading that 2 copies of T, and guess where I just found my TMNT Adventures #1 was in a dollar
I
bin.
know I know a YouTuber who's no longer on YouTube. I don't know what ended up happening to him. His name was Tim Morant. He went to a pawn shop one time, and they had a first print TNT #1,
I could
and
show
the
you
guy
this
said he
one.
wanted like $20 for it or something like that. I think he's 10, $20 for it, and Tim was like, "No, hey, do you have an eBay account? Make an eBay account. Put this thing on eBay. Like, get a grader. Like, go take it to a comic book store. Get them to give you a grade for it. Put this thing on eBay." And I was like, "Dude, I don't know if I could have done that if I was you. I would have been like $10 for TMT #1. Sounds like a good deal to me. Here you go. First print, yes sir. Oh yeah, that's going home to the PC." But and like
Okay,
he told dude, he was like, "Dude, you can get like 2-3 grand for this book." I was like, "No, take it."
right? So I'll show you like a little weird fact, right? So I got a lot. I got 10 long boxes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 9 short boxes, and I need really like 3 more long boxes. I have so many comics that don't have a home yet. Okay, so in my collection, all my Marvel is literally in these 2 little short boxes right here. All my
You're
Marvel.
the indie guy. You should have like 10
Oh,
long boxes.
okay, so yeah, so these 3 are all indie, and then I have 2 specifically of Batman. I have like 2 specifically of Harley. Like some of my bigger characters. I mean, I have a lot of comics from, but I'll show you some cool, just from dollar bins and stuff, but like older, and direct. I think this one was a quarter, but nothing big or famous. But I can show you some ones that I was mentioning. Like cover art alone, there's a Defender, an old Defenders. It is direct, but that is Skakinski, I think that's his name.
Uh,
Skakinski.
hey, Michael Straczynski.
Yes, but that is his first cover, I think, was from the New Defenders. And that was in a dollar bin. I'm steadily looking for, but I find these all the time. Of course, I'm not going to find because Silk's first appearance comes out in that. Let's see. Because almost all of these, bro, almost all these,
Man,
except
did
for
I
like
just send you an AFK and didn't could have put something in there that you wanted? I bet you I did. Hold on. Yeah, no, wait, that's not it. This is one of my for sale or trade books. Original Sin 0 of 8. This is
yeah, I
like
don't have that. See, I could show you, but I only have 2, I think, in original set. Because I used to have the whole series. It was actually one of the
this one.
last Marvel series.
I think this one's worth like $20 for some reason. I think it's like because it's the death of the Watcher or something like
It
that.
could be because that's the one his eyes get stolen or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I have one, and I think
That's
I've
what
only
I'm
found like
I got stuff for sale and for trade, man. It seems like I hit 1,000, and then once I hit 1,000, for some reason in my brain, I'm telling myself I need to like downscale.
I have 1 and 7. That's the only 2 that I have right now. I had all of them and all the tie-ins. It was one of the series that I went big in. Um, some older stuff, but most people don't know. But Damage Control, and they showed up in Avengers and
No, I just sold Silk's first
Spider-Man.
ASM #4, but I think there's something happens with an Original Sin and Silk. It was like a cameo of like Cindy Moon herself or something. I can't remember.
Look, if free energies here. I got Doom, and this
29.
one's is a super clean copy.
Anything 20.99 you find in dollar bins all day long. all day long.
Used to, not no more. Like, bro, like finding Doom 2099, like that shit's
Yeah,
hard now. The only thing in
no,
my in my dollar bins, the only thing I can find at 2099 right now is like Ravager. Everything else is gone. Punisher, I mean, Hulk, but I mean, I have been able to find,
yeah,
um,
find them. I've had 2 or 3 copies of that. Years
but
ago, what was it? Years ago,
so
it
he
was like
like
2014.
Pete.
I bought a long box from a guy for $180. Right inside of this long box was X-Men 4, First Omega Red, Young Avengers #1. What is that? Astonishing X-Men, the cover with Kitty Pryde and Colossus. It's like the first appearance of Sword or something like that. Yeah, I had all those kind of books in that long box, and at the time they were not worth a whole lot. Yeah, and I traded all those books away for not near what they're worth now.
You know what that is?
What is that?
That's some spec, but that's Spider-Man 2099, but this is the first appearance of Venom 2099, and I have like the
Oh,
second appearance, which is his cover, his
that's
first
yeah,
cover.
like
That was like, when I spec, I don't spec like money wise. I spec like who I think's gonna come theater wise. That's what specking for me means.
I spec as in
So
I stay ahead of it so I can end up getting the books that I want. Like
no,
this
cause I
book,
don't
I'm
really plan on
literally
selling
just
any of
bought this
mine.
book not for spec, but I just bought this book just so I would have it before people start specking on it. And it's
Mm,
worth like, $200.
let's see. I do have some olders like spectacular. I have
I have a few. I don't have a lot. I thought I had way more than I did.
there's your dude.
Oh, what is
Black
that?
Spider.
Who did that cover?
It's good,
Is that
Kinski.
that's who?
Michael. Oh
Shazam?
no, this yeah, Skusinski. Michael. Oh, I think that's his name, Michael Skusinski, because his signature is over there. Damn.
Uh, yeah, I think that's him. I could have sworn he was just a writer though.
No, I think he's done. I think his name is Bill Skusinski or
Oh, that's Bill
something.
Sienkiewicz.
Sienkiewicz. That's his
Yeah,
name.
that's it. Okay, yeah. That's why I was like so confused. I was like, wait, J. Michael's just a writer, I thought. But yeah, I was thinking for a second you were talking about Sienkiewicz. Yeah, now he's an
The
artist. He's been doing art.
older.
I have 2 Ultimate books. I have 2 out of all the books that I have. Where are those things?
Well, that was spectacular. This is issue number 39. That was from 1979.
Not a whole. But yeah, like
That
I
was
have.
some of the older
There you go.
spectacular.
So this one's actually worth a little bit too, and I bought this. This is a really nice copy. I think there's one spine tick on this, and that's it. First Venom in Ultimate Universe, and then whatever issue 42 is. That's the only 2. Like I found these in dollar bins, and I grabbed them.
I don't have any of the Ultimate series, anything. X-Men, Ultimates, Spider-Man, nothing. And
I
we
do.
can try that, Nicole. We can try it. Nicole wants us to talk over each other and for like 4 times in a row. So go. No. All right, so let's see. Just some older spectacular. 151. This was in a quarter bin,
Oh my god.
but it's just the regular like because recently there was this guy, I swear to God, he had ripped off somebody's house. I believe Namor will show up in November 4th. I believe Black Panther 2 will be the war between. I believe the same thing. I believe he's going to show up in Black Panther 2. I don't think he's going to show up before then. And I think that's because of just Namor's origin in the comics and stuff. I think it makes more sense that he would show up in a Black Panther or maybe an Avenger movie. But we don't have any Avenger movies slated,
Makes sense
right?
for the Avengers too, because he's been in and out of the Avengers ever since they've been a thing, and that's one of his big things is that he's like a king, so he thinks he's a little bit better than the rest of them. Old school.
Tombstone.
I'm
Hmm.
kind of thinking they might do something with him in the future.
I always thought they would because it's such an easy character to do. You know, there's not a whole lot of effects to him. There's not a. Here you
Just
go,
the
Bill.
yeah.
Here you go. Here you go.
What is
Here
that?
you go.
First,
Here you go.
what is that?
Puma.
First Puma. I don't think
Hmm.
they'll use Puma.
He's not that big. I mean, I mean, really, he's kind of like tied to Craven, so you can't really have Puma by himself until you do Craven.
That's true.
It's
They
kind of
should
weird.
be Craven. That should have been this movie. They should have made it Craven's Last
Mm.
Hunt movie. Yes.
Cosmic Spider-Man.
I think I have that one. Which ones do I
I
have?
always loved Cosmic, man. I always thought that was badass.
Let me see. Spectacular. It's somewhere.
Mixing.
Look, that's what's gonna blow up next. Is all these? I got Sensational out in the yin yang.
I love, you know, everybody shits on Sensational, bro. I love
Oh, no,
Sensational
wait, I had it
Spider-Man.
backwards. I have like 2 issues of Sensational, and then I have nothing but
I
Spectacular.
think Puma did.
This is what I've got, and I think I got most of these out of dollar bins back in the day too. These were all dollar finds.
I was
122
reading.
Black Troop.
Ooh.
Yeah. The Arranger Must Die 165. Whoa, this feels
Ooh.
really long. I'm starting to
That's
think this
nice.
is just a cover. 188 with the Vulture.
I like that. I always loved the Vulture.
I
I
did
don't know
too.
why.
This is number 189. This is the 30th anniversary. One of those foily. They had
Yeah.
a red one.
Hmm.
Oh, this book's hot right now. To Kill the Cat.
Your
201
cat's
Maximum
pooping.
Carnage.
Oh
Got
yeah.
Venom, Tiny, and Carnage on it. I bet you that's worth something.
Your cat's pooping in your comics.
Yeah.
You all turn to look.
What are you doing? Get over here. Come here.
You're like, oh shit.
Get out there. Give me the.
Hang
Oh,
on.
he got one over. Whoops. Whoopsie. All right. There. He was trying to get in the box, and I think he ended up knocking him over. 210.
See, Usamaki, we're on the same thing. We're on the same page, you saw. I think that's where they're going.
Kitty is walking on the books.
Yeah, Nicole. No, you read what SSG. You know, you do know that SSG and Nicole are married, right? They're a married couple.
I do
That's why.
as of this chat because I seen that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I said that earlier in the chat, so I do now.
Powerhouse. You don't get one person, you get both of them.
There's something weird.
Typhoon Mary.
What is weird about, like, what is this? This means something.
I don't. That's got to be like a misprint or something. I've never seen comic books with numbers like that.
It's 94. Let me look at this. Let me see, because there's something weird about that number. No other numbers I have are like this. There's no money, because then the rest of the stuff I have are annuals. Let's see, annual number 4. Annual number 5, which I love this. I love this cover.
Fuck yeah.
Brick wall.
Yeah, I like that. And Spider-Man on the floor.
Oh, wow. Some of these bags are old as crap. Number 6. And number 8. I don't think any of these are anything.
That's dope. I don't have any annuals from Spectacular. I don't even know if I've seen any annuals.
Number 9 with Cloak and Dagger.
Oh no, that one I recognize. I need. That's the Atlantis, right? Atlantis. What the fuck is that thing called? That should be a book for Usamaki right there. Usamaki.
Typhoid Mary's first appearance was in Daredevil, I thought, wasn't it?
That I'm not sure. I don't remember. I think she might be a Daredevil bad guy.
Holy shit.
You'd have to look it up, but I think Typhoon Mary might be Spider-Man first. Some of them are weird, man. It's like some of them pop up and intermingle with other heroes. It gets confusing. A lot of people's first appearance, I don't remember. I have to look up unless I know the specific thing.
Or anything, so I don't know. It might be a misprint or something. It's something weird about that number, though. Because I've never seen a number like that where it's just 213. Like there's no price up underneath it. It just says 213.
Yeah, I've never seen it. It's got to be an error or something. You'd have to look it up. I know, like, low budget. He's come across this thing that I've seen. It's kind of like on certain comics, right? You'll get, and there'll be it'll be a white UPC like this, but certain comics that I found them before too, but they'll have like an orange one or a red or a
Mhm.
blue.
I've
We don't
seen
know
one
what that
with red ones before. I've had ones
we
that have red ones.
yeah,
Red
we don't know what that means, that red and blue.
Annual 11. Damn, I have all the annuals. Like I bought all the annuals for some reason. Mine, what's the real 13? Which that one's got a weird little number thing going on too, but it's got something else next to it. It's got prices and
Well, see,
year.
that I've seen before. That's how they always did the annuals. Like, because I used to read a whole bunch of Fantastic Four annuals because they did, for some reason, certain heroes' annuals were really good, and certain ones they were like joke issues or something. But like
Yeah.
Fantastic Four's annuals were always really good.
Avengers always had major characters show up in their annuals and stuff like that.
Oh,
Spider Man.
look, got it. Needed comic says Typhoon Mary's is Daredevil 254 is her
That's
first
right. That's
appearance.
right. That's right.
I couldn't remember though, because didn't she show up in the show? Wasn't she in the Mary was
I think I started
the
watching season 3 or season 4. I need to get net. What I'm gonna do is
I
next
think
year.
I think she was in Punisher. She was in one of them. She showed up, but I don't think they called her Typhoon Mary. I think they just called her Mary.
That sounds like something. Because I stopped watching about season 3 or season 4 when I stopped watching Netflix. I just stopped watching it altogether. And
All right, so I'll show you. So I'll show you some out of Amazing that I have because I have been able to find some older Amazing, not too far, but
in
I
dollar
have
bin.
one. Yeah, I got a 185,
Oh, nice.
a 35 sensor, and
I was about to
Anna
say,
Surratt.
oh,
I got that. Let's see. I got next up. I got some blackness, but some more Puma. You know what the
oh yeah. I think I have that issue.
and that was 257. So it went from 185 to 257. And then I love this car, but this is a 279 with Jack O' Lantern and Silver Sable.
I think people are starting to spec on Silver Sable too.
Let's see. I got. Ooh, this is probably like my most beat up comic that I own, but I didn't give a shit because I didn't own it. But here you go. This Spider-Man 375,
Yeah,
the foil. But this is how bad this comic is. Let me show you. Right here. I have never seen this
hey, people
before,
really want that right about now.
but the
Oh
foil
yeah,
is actually like flaked
yeah.
off.
That's why you got it out of the dollar bin.
I mean, other than that, there are a couple other spots where the foil. It's like it's kind of all around here at the top, like where it's like I've never seen that before. But the chrome and the foil literally like has flaked off. Where it like but over here you can see it's like regular paper now. It's so weird. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it's a clean copy. I was like, fuck, I just want it for to have it in my collection type of thing. Let's see. I need that damn issue of Amazing Spider-Man. What is it, 799? It's the first appearance of Freaky Louie.
Mm-hmm. Freaky Louie. I was about to say, I
Yep,
thought he was on. I thought he
I
was.
have
Was he actually
800.
in the comic book?
Yeah, and for people that don't know, Freaky Louie had written into Marvel, and for the where the back of the book where it's got the editor's notes or whatever, back here where
Oh
it's got like the
yeah, True Believers and such.
But they did publish Freaky Louie's article and with pictures. So you do get to see Freaky Louie in the comic. But I think it is in 799, and I don't have that one yet. I didn't find out about it until like maybe 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Oh, well, there's the mystery solved.
What?
The
Your
copy
copy
of
of
Spectacular 213 that I have, the reason the number looks like that is because it came with a Gamer Pro
Game
magazine.
Pro magazine?
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's
Oh,
actually
that's
really.
crazy. I did not know that.
I was about to say that
Um,
that would make sense. Those things were all over
Yeah,
the
that
place.
sounds right because I do remember, comics coming with other stuff. I mean, we had X-Men comics that came with inside Pizza Hut boxes, if you remember that. And there was
Hmm.
the
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
X-Men Adventures.
Uh, I
They
had I had the when you fold it out and it's got the side where it's like Rogue and Gambit fighting a Sentinel on one side and then something else on the other. I had a copy of it that I'd literally like took the cover off of and had that hanging on my wall.
Jumps up to that. I don't know what legacy. This is legacy 860, so it goes from 800 to 860 is the next one I have, and then I have 70 and 71, 72, 73, and 74.
That green Goblin that she did, yeah.
That Peachman Mucko. I
Yeah.
love Peach, man.
I like some of her stuff, and then some of it
I like all of her stuff, but on my end, it's more like she draws for a lot of comics that I'm not into. One of my favorite covers that she did was for Power Rangers, and I'm not a big Power Ranger fan.
Yeah,
I did not.
Ranger cover or whatever it is.
She did all the. Eventually, she did all of them, but my favorite one is the Blue Ranger. If you get a chance to see that cover that she did, I think that's phenomenal because it's like water. I think it's like water around them, or it's flowers or something. And it's just really cool looking. I have all Sinister War.
Ranger.
I've shown that out before, but that's I don't have too many Carnage books, so.
Yeah. It looks like he's disintegrating or something.
Yeah, I think that's, in my opinion, I think that's one of her best covers to date.
That is.
I wasn't. I don't think I was. I don't remember if I had been picking up indies at that time, but I did not know about Peach Momoko at that time. But on another end, I don't know if I ever even saw that comic on the shelves.
Oh, she did an issue of TNT #1. #1. I was on 120 something now, or it must be like a mini series.
What was that, Daredevil? The first appearance? Was it 252? Damn, I got 252.
You got 2 issues away.
Damn. Hold on.
You're so close to having the first type one, man.
Damn. And I just have, the reason I have this is that it's just because it's that Bill Sienkiewicz artist again. I always like his art, so I tend to pick it up. I think that's who.
Cole and Uzumaki are trying to like talk over each other, like trying to beat each other as opposed to saying stuff. I can see this at home now, like both of them are on their phones, like typing like hell, trying to be the first one to say something. This is great.
The logo is Reggie Smoke. What the heck, Reggie Smoke? What does that mean?
Uzumaki and Nicole need to hit me up because I've already planned on sometime in November. I'm going to Columbia and I'm gonna go digging with Southpaw Brad. So I guess they need to hit me up. We need to find a place to go digging.
There's your deathlock #1. Just the wrong deathlock. Oh, there you go. I don't even remember picking that up.
What? No, you don't. You found that in a dollar bin?
Dollar bin. All these. I don't pay, especially for Marvel. I don't even remember picking that up. I don't remember picking that up. I could always go back to my haul videos because all this I've picked up since I started. But like Ghost Rider, I'm a huge Ghost Rider fan, so I've been picking up him. I don't have like a lot of the stuff that the people want, but I have some older stuff. Like
I was about to say, you got that.
I got 41. That's
#5. Did you find that for $1 too?
Marvel Spotlight #5. No, I don't think.
Yeah, first appearance of Ghost Rider.
No, I wish.
It's stupid expensive now.
I got some 40 censors. It's crazy because this was 40 cents, right? And then you go one number up, and they up that motherfucker to 50 cents.
Shout out to Low Budget Comics and things.
Gene,
We
were just talking about you.
I went to my local library, thanks to you, sir, and found out they do have some graphic novels. So I got some God of Thunder, King, Thor. And this I found at my library too, and it was because I was watching one of his videos, and he was like, "The library," and I was like, "Oh shit, there's one of those 5 minutes from my house."
He's been doing a lot of shout out videos lately, and I need him to go back to his haul videos.
The logo, I remember.
This man, I love that.
Oh my god,
that shit. Like when I found that, I was like, yes. I'm a huge Ghost Rider fan. There's just something about the skull and the flames. I don't care if he's on a horse, a bike, a unicycle. I don't know. It's just, I don't care. These are just some of the random ones. I mean, I find a lot of Ghost Rider a lot, but these are just the ones that I like. Like this one's a black light covering.
He just hasn't had his resurgence yet. Like his
I
the
know, I
movie,
know.
the Ghost Rider they movie made with Nicolas Cage, everybody didn't like. Watch what happens. They're gonna come out with another movie and he's gonna be in it, and then it's gonna explode, and all those dollar bin boxes you found, like books you found, they're all
That
going,
one's
yeah,
so hard,
yeah, the
hard to
solid black
see.
cover.
Well, I mean, there's art on there, but I could
Embossed.
go pull it. It's blacklight. No, it's blacklight reactive. Because like I think like 6 or 7 of these issues, all the Midnight Suns, like this one, like they're all like all that orange. If you put it under the blacklight, it pops out. This is one of those Marvel Comics Presents, but I like Vengeance. And that's the only reason I have this, and then plus that the Route 666, you know. Oh, and I got, and there you go. Rise of the Midnight Suns, Night Stalkers #1.
Yeah, that's starting to get real hot too because they're putting out that video game.
hmm Well, supposedly we're supposed to be getting them in the movie form pretty soon, but I hope what I've heard is not true. But they've talked about scrapping Blade from the movie schedule, which is ridiculous because I love the guy that they cast for.
Who they cast to play him?
He is from, I think, the third season of True Detective. It's a, of course, it's a black individual, but I'm drawing a blank at his name, but I've seen him in a lot of different shows. I know him specifically from like Boardwalk Empire on HBO with Steve Buscemi. Um, and I think that's the show I fell in love with him. But bro, he is such a good
Ma,
actor.
was it Mahershala Ali?
Yeah, he'd have to look at his credits or whatever.
I'm looking it up
Like,
now.
there's besides #1, that's the oldest Avenger book I have, which
Oh,
is
you have number
31.
one?
Huh?
You have
Yeah, I
Avengers
have.
one. What the heck?
Yes,
Oh, you just
that's
couldn't
the
leave it
all that.
behind.
Huh?
You just couldn't leave it behind, huh?
Avengers.
Number one?
The Avengers #1 was gifted to me. It was in AOK actually. It was gifted to me by Comic
Yeah,
G
I think
Spot.
I saw that.
Yeah.
That's right. I did watch that video. You did get one. Oh,
And it's not even here. I have it put up, and like I didn't even open it. He gave it. It's in like the see-through mylar with the it's got like the backboard that's clear or whatever, and so I could
oh, yeah,
see the whole.
yeah, the
But
clear
I
backboard.
I didn't even open it because I don't own any. Like I don't handle my comics with gloves because I don't sweat. I don't, my
Yeah.
um.
Make sure my hands not like I ain't been eating fried chicken before I eat. I
mhm.
want him to do. I want him to do a Savage Avenger movie. I know Uzumaki said Avengers 4. Fantastic Four, I don't think they could do any different. They've already did that trilogy. It's already burned in our brain.
If you don't know about this book, which is recent, this is House of X #1, and you can still find it in dollar bins, but you might want to pick it up because if you've been watching Mark's channel, and
Oh,
Mark has been doing deep dives on NFTs, they are changing how first appearances work, and because there are all kind of people getting into NFTs, they are the way they are releasing NFTs. They are kind of messing up the first appearances. So in NFT form, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the first appearance of the X-Men. Period.
you
So people are
oh,
freaking out.
because they're
So
not
people are,
counting it as
they
X Men
don't know.
experience.
So they don't know that this is not but because that was the first NFT that dropped, they believe this is the first of it. So people are going nuts online looking for this comic. This is so funny, fool.
Oh my God. They've been around since 1966, people.
Do you know in NFT form the first appearance of the Hulk is like Hulk one it's actually the first appearance of Maestro, which is the comic that they draw
Oh,
with what they dropped for the first appearance of Hulk, and people really believe that that's the first appearance of the Hulk now, bro. That comic yesterday was a $20 comic, and this morning we were checking it already jumped to a $200 comic.
You were
Oh,
lying.
here you
You're
go.
lying, sir. I'm
Here you
on
go.
eBay right now.
Here,
You were lying. There's no way.
here you
There's
go.
no way. Go Red Sox. All right, now come on. Y'all just have to win one more game. Don't do this to me. Ooh, what is that? Issue number 1? Oh, yeah, that's issue number 1 right there.
That's the only one I can find so far. But the first appearance of the Beyonder. All right, so
I think I would have
here's
heard of issues. Let me see. What did you say? Holt number 1?
it's the first appearance of Maestro. I think the storyline's called like Clear and Danger or something. I can't remember because I'm not a huge Hulk fan. I knew if Comic Journey was still in here, he'd know. Um, but I'm trying to. It's a higher number, like it's 181, or it's not Hulk 181, but it's a 90s comic that they're stating that's a number one, and it's not. And that's the whole confusion on the NFTs, but it is affecting our world too. It is increasing, because these people that don't know about these, bro, do you know an NFT yesterday sold for like $500,000? Like, bro, these people are going nuts over that
He
shit.
sold for $500,000.
Yeah. There's one slated on board right now that is already up to 1 million and it's not sold yet, so it's still increasing. And it's a comic book NFT. It's not a statue or um he says there's I was watching his most recent one, and there's a mega rare out there that no one's even seen, and it's already slated to be over $1 million NFT.
I can't even find an issue. Maestro, it's Maestro number 1, right? That's what it's called.
No, it's Hulk. Just look up Maestro's first appearance.
Hmm. I don't think there's one for sale. I think everybody bought them all.
If you can find it, you'll see the cover, and it's just Hulk, and it looks like he's jumping past some buildings on the cover, and it almost, yeah, Future Imperfect. Look, God in E Comics got it right. That's what the storyline's called, Future Imperfect.
I've seen that. Future Imperfect
And
number 1.
it's got like two different covers. There is like a variant, and there's a regular, but I think the regular, the one that everybody's after right now, is just it looks like Hulk's kind of like jumping this way
Oh,
over
yeah,
some
yeah, yeah,
cities.
yeah. Here's a VF copy for 15, but it's also on bids. So, and it's a VF copy. Let's see.
Watch that stuff
1
just
and
dropped this
2,
morning.
$35 shipped. Let me look at, well, best match would be the way to do it, I guess. Let's go for lowest price and see what it pulls up.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, it jumps from like 15 to like, oh yeah, that's off the original run, isn't it? I just watched Baby White Guy, Brandon. I just watched
Brandon,
Brandon, Baby White Guy.
why are you calling Brandon?
That was the first name of his that came to mind. Brandon, I watched Brandon's channel and I watched Brandon's interview with Bob McLeod and like the what is it, X Force or X Factor or whatever it is that he did first. I think it was X Force or New Mutants. It was New Mutants that they did first.
What number was he tied to?
Here we go. Yep. Incredible Hulk, Future Imperfect, number 1, CGC 9.8, newly graded, $375.
I'm telling you. And watch tomorrow. Watch that comic. It's gonna because that stupid shit. Like when I heard that, I was like, "What the hell?" Like the first appearance. Like if you look at all the first appearance in NFT form, they're all wrong. Spider-Man, like Miles Morales, like in NFT form, I think Miles Morales is a Marvel Point One or something like that.
Yeah, it seems like all the graded ones are up to 3. Whoa. All right, this guy's way jumped up. He's 500 or best offer for CGC 9.8. That is no way.
I'm telling you. Because right now it just happened this morning. Because there's like two or three people that are following the NFT thing, and one of the guys is following it like stocks. But that's where they're getting the news from,
I might buy this book right now so I can buy it for cheap and then resell it in about a month or 2.
Maestro's coming regardless. That's like good spec play anyways, because Maestro is coming. And these are some of the oldest X-Men I have. But that I've been able to find. It's 159. I think this might be the first appearance of Dracula or something like that. I can't remember. Or Dracula's wife.
And that's the issue after 158 is the second appearance of Rogue. So whatever happened in that issue happened. They were going after Mystique. She got into the Pentagon somehow, and they were going after her. And her backup was Rogue. So they were still fighting, I guess, what's her name?
It's something.
Evil mutants or whatever it was.
New Mutants, all I have is... I don't have a lot. I only have like 2 New Mutants that I've been able to find. I got issues 66, which I have no idea what's in there. But then I got issue like 91, and I just love Sabretooth and Cable.
Oh, nice. Whoa, what is up with that Cable?
He's weird, dude.
Not look like Cable at all.
He is weird. Like even Sabretooth. Sabretooth is like he looks like Green Goblin more than he does like Sabretooth. I don't know what was going on there. Let's see. But then then it just starts like regular X-Men. I have like, I don't have 1, but I have like 2. I have...
Yeah, I had a bunch of those.
3.
I had a bunch of those, and then I got rid of them because I was like, well,
4.
there's X-Men and then there's regular. So I might as well just collect the 1. Yeah, I had that one. I can't believe I let it go for like, I think I let it go for like 2 months.
Look, me and Nicole were talking about something, and she never liked Sabretooth. This Sabretooth and this book is the Sabretooth that I was talking about. This Sabretooth is dope because,
Yes.
look, I even show you, I even open it up and show you why growing up I fell in love with Sabretooth. And this is the first time, you have to remember, this is the first X series, you know, in my opinion, you know, when I was growing up in the 90s, I mean, they rebooted it, right? From X-Men, you know, X-Men Blue and Gold. So you're reading this book, and this is all about like Omega Red, and he's punishing the X-Men like big time. And then you get to the scene like Sabretooth's just like kind of like meandering through the sewers, and he's in the sewers. Well, watch this. I don't even think most of the time he goes by Sabretooth. He usually goes by like Victor Creed. But like the first time you see Sabretooth is right there, and look at him like, bro, if he is not flossing right there.
Oh yeah, there's the 90s, late 90s or whatever, late 90s, early 2000s. He was a businessman at the time.
Yeah.
Suits and stuff like that. He still was. He was still Sabretooth. He was huge and everything. He had hair all over him and stuff, but he would wear like suits, and he was like a businessman or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Because I was trying to describe him. He's kind of like a kingpin.
He says, "What the fuck? You guys are still at it."
Where was he like 10 minutes ago when we needed him? He must have heard his name.
Yep.
Maybe it's like Beetlejuice. But that's pretty much it. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it jumps up to like 18. I don't know. I have some other, like I have Curse of X-Men, Blood of X-Men, some other crap.
Well, we've been rolling for about 3 hours, so I guess I'm okay. It's been
about
3 hours. Oh, see, that's something that I'm thinking about getting into Excalibur, but I don't think the new Excalibur is like the old Excalibur, is it?
That's kind of, I've never read Excalibur, so that's what I've been trying to do recently is like, since I had to start my collection over, instead of reading the same stuff that I collected before, I'm going in a different route where I'm like, well, let me pick up the stuff that I stayed away from when I never read New Mutants, I never read Excalibur, I read X-Force and X-Men and a little bit of X-Factor, so most of this is just me building up to, and that's why when I was Comic Journey, that's why I'm showing this, because he showed number 2 and he was like, nobody would want that. I want that because I'm trying to read it.
See, yeah, like, I mean, I see all this new stuff of like the old titles, but I never really, like, I didn't read the only, because I came in right.
And it's some dope covers, man.
So I came in right before they rebooted it the first time. There was just Uncanny X-Men, and that's what I started reading. And then they came out with the other X-Men title, and as a kid, I started getting those too. You know, but when I got older, I was like, well, I'm only doing one Spider-Man title, and there's 5 of those, and I'm only doing one Batman, so there's 5 of those. I can't do more than one X-Men either, so I just picked Uncanny. And then they stopped doing it, and now they're back on the regular, you know, the just rebooted series. And so I'm like, dang, now I got to find all those. So
Are you ready? You ready?
Where is it?
Dollar, dollar,
Yeah, yep. I had one of those
dollar.
too. I had one of those too. That was in that box of stuff that, like, yeah, I bought it for like, I think it was like 180 bucks, and it was a long box. It was just basically what people would consider gold now. Back then, I had a X Factor #4. Oh, Generation X. There was a
And
guy.
look, somebody was talking
Had
about him
X-Man.
last month.
Who was X-Man? Which one was he in? It was just
Adam.
X-Man. It would
Yeah,
be
it's just X-Men. That's Age of Apocalypse is when he started.
okay.
Because he's like, I forget his explanation, but he's some kind of weird variant that comes from that time frame only. But now they've added him in. But look,
Of
I got
course,
like one. They're like,
Oh, look at you specking. You
I
stacking
got
up
a
copies.
direct.
You're stacking
I
up copies.
wish, bro. Bro, if we got Generation X before X-Men, I actually would love that because there's a lot of members of Generation X that I really love versus the regular. I mean, like, bro, the original cast of Generation X was so dope. You had Banshee, you had White Queen, you had Jubilee from the main X-Men. Then you had a bunch of new freaks in there, and the new freaks were, man, they were glorious. Like, bro,
Yeah,
what's with this guy? How did he even talk? Like Chamber? He has no throat. He has no esophagus. He has no stomach. Like, how did he even communicate? Like, how did he keep it in there? All right. Well, anyways, you were trying to end this.
yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off because we've been at it for almost 3.5 hours.
Bye, everybody. Bye,
Bye.
Talks.
But yeah, thanks for everybody who showed up. This is definitely ended up just being a hangout, which I knew it was going to end up doing it. I knew we were going to end up doing it. Me and you, yeah. You put us anywhere, we just start hanging. So yeah, I'm glad everybody enjoyed it though. I'm glad everybody saw it. Won't get to happen a whole bunch because I'm actually off today. Oh, I'm actually off tomorrow too. I can technically do it tomorrow. Actually, no. I think I talked to Rod the Rican the other day, and I think I might be doing something with them tomorrow night. Drawing something, drawing
Hmm.
comics. It's frame it or lame or something like that. Frame and lame.
Lame frame.
That's it. Yeah, I just subscribed to his channel. There's a whole bunch of channels that have been a thing that have tons of subs that I'm just now finding. Um,
There's a bunch. I
oh my
think I'm already
god.
subbed up to like 800 and something, and I definitely don't watch.
You have an Excalibur #2 will be coming to you, Mike. So there you go. Now you're gonna have you're gonna have 1 and 2. All right. So thanks everybody for stopping in. Hope everybody had a good time. We definitely did. We'll do this as many times as we can. Hopefully my work schedule gets back to normal. But yeah, everybody have a good time. See y'all later. Peace. Deuces.
Yeah.